Well, it's an exciting and glorious day here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The 2023 football season is here, and college football is back. It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic showdown between your Prairie View A&M University Panthers taking on their Houston rivals, the Tigers of Texas Southern University. Andre Davidson with you, and I'm being joined by a young man who I'm going to let him fully introduce himself, but he's a soon-to-be alumni of Prairie View A&M University, a senior representing the Mass Communications Department of PVU. He is Mr. Greg Johnson. How you doing today, sir?
Good, Andre. I'm good. I'm ready to watch some football. Football is back. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Football is back, man. College football is back, to be exact. I'm excited. Glad to have you here, sir. And we can also let the listeners know, too, man, that you're also the voice of the Royal Falcons High School football team. And you can listen to that broadcast exclusively right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, along with the Waller Bulldogs, the Hempstead Bobcats, and, of course, the Panthers of Prairie View A&M University. And you picked a very special game to be a part of for your first collegiate broadcast. So, as I mentioned before, this is not a game. Well, it's a game, but I like to call it a showdown, if you will. It's a showdown. It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic, man, between these two teams, the SWAC rivals of Houston, Texas, if you will. Only 50 miles and 3 highways separate these two schools, and they are here to do battle under the Saturday Night Lights. Coming to you live from Shell Energy Stadium, better known as BBVA Stadium, man. I'm excited. I know you're excited as well.
Right. Yes, sir. Ready for some football.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, before we do it, we're in the midst of our pregame show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and we're going to get into some X's and O's of today's contest. But before we do that, we're going to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors and supporters for today's broadcast. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, proudly serving student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817 to ask for Mr. Greg Austin. Today's game is also brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. And for more information on how to become a member, you can contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. Number again is 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries, you can listen live each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. The number again is 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom, one soul at a time. And Greg, we want to take this opportunity to also let our listeners know that September is our listening partnership drive, where we ask you to help with donations, support, contributions of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond that you can get exclusively right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And with that being said, we're having a popcorn fundraiser that's from Double Good Popcorn that started September 1st, ending September 4th at 12 p.m. noon. And we're asking you to purchase some of that delicious finger-licking, I like to call it finger-licking good popcorn. And your contributions will support us with our traveling expenses, our lodging expenses, as we continue to travel the country to bring you live and delayed sports coverage right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And you can do so by visiting the website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com. Click on the pop-up tent link and make your purchase today to help us support the cause. You can also make your purchases on our social media. You can look for the links on X, as well as our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And of course, Greg, who don't love popcorn, right?
Everybody loves popcorn.
Everybody loves popcorn. Yeah, you love popcorn. Exactly. You love popcorn, I love popcorn, everybody loves popcorn. So if you're out there and you're listening, and you love popcorn, and you also love the things that we're bringing to you here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, then head on down to our website at obnradio.com. Make your purchase today. Help us support the cause, and we always, it's going to be very much appreciated. We're just about 29 minutes away from kickoff here at the Labor Day Classic showdown between the Panthers of Prairie View A&M University and the Tigers of Texas Southern University. We're going to take a quick break and come back with our tale of the tape for today's action. You're listening to Panther Football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robertson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. If you're just now joining us, we're in the midst of our pregame show as the Panthers are set to do battle against the Tigers of Texas Southern University. It's the first game of the 2023 campaign for both squads, and what an electric atmosphere to be a part of. The Panthers under the leadership of second-year head coach Bella McDowell, as he'll be looking to lead his Panthers for the second time this year. And also, he was to make a statement not only in this game, but in the entire SWAC conference, if you will, as his Panthers finished 6-5 overall last season and with a 5-3 record in conference play. As for the Tigers, they'll be led by head coach Clarence McKinney, who's entering his 5th season as head coach for the Tigers. The Tigers finished 5-6 overall last season with a 4-4 record in conference play. So, somewhat fairly even records for both of these squads from last season. The Panthers were not only victorious against the Tigers last season by the score of 40-23, but they've been victorious in this Labor Day Classic for the last 8 seasons, if you will. So can they make it number 9 here tonight remains to be seen. But as we all know, in the world of sports, Greg, a new season equals new expectations.
Anything can happen.
Yep, definitely. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Well, we want to take this opportunity to really highlight some key players for this squad, because I feel like when you're talking about games like this, you got key players from the Panthers team that's making their return for this 2023 campaign, and you also got some key players from the Tigers that are making a return for the 2023 campaign as well. So we're going to start with the Panthers key players. Now, I got 3 key players for the Panthers. Okay. Now, there's a list of players I'm sure we can name, but I got 3 key players for the Panthers. I'm going to start with that running back, that redshirt senior, Ahmad Antoine. Ahmad Antoine was named SWAC preseason second-team offense to start this 2023 campaign. He finished 8th in the SWAC last season in terms of rushing, and he had no problem against the Tigers defense last season, Greg. I mean, he ran for a $122 and a touchdown. A huge contributor to the Panthers' 424 yards on the ground last season against the Tigers. Now, of course, he don't have his running back duo, partner, if you will, Jason Stewart. He did graduate after last season, but he will have sophomore running back Connor Wysham, who had major starts last season, along with the transfer running back from Mississippi Valley, Mr. Caleb Johnson. So definitely be on the lookout for Ahmad Antoine. The Panthers had no problem feeding him often and early throughout the course of the season last year. He's a veteran. He's been there for a total of 5 seasons on this ball club. So definitely a veteran for the Panthers offensively. So look for them to feed him the ball often and early to start this game. So next we have the linebacker. This guy right here, when I tell you, I called his name at least about 6 or 7 to 8 times per game last year. Every time you see the ball, look for this guy no matter what. It's a linebacker, the senior, Keyshawn Johnson. He wears number 9, so be looking out for number 9 when the Panthers are on defense. Anywhere the ball is, I can assure you, you're going to see a number 9 jersey somewhere in the vicinity. The linebacker, Keyshawn Johnson, the senior to be exact, not to be mistaken with the former All-Pro Super Bowl champion wide receiver, Keyshawn Johnson. Not to be mistaken by him, we're talking about the Panthers, Keyshawn Johnson. He is the heart and soul of this defense, and we'll be looking for him to make some noise here in this ball game as well.
The linebacker position is such an important position, especially on that defensive side. That's kind of the quarterback of the defense. So I really do understand you having him as a key player on your list. And
you'll also see him as well. Be on the lookout for him as well, especially on third downs. When it's like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, they usually like to send him in the blitz package, especially if Andrew Body for the Tigers is going to drop back to pass. Be on the lookout for him coming in on certain blitz packages as well. I'm telling you, anywhere the ball is on defense, you're going to see that number 9 jersey several times throughout the night. So if we're broadcasting and you hear me say number 9, Keyshawn Johnson, I warned you during our pregame show.
Definitely.
I warned you.
Be real active tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, last but not least, and again, we can go through a plethora of names if we could for the Panthers as far as key players here in this ball game. But there's no other key player like the guy I'm about to name right now, and that is the quarterback, the redshirt senior, that man himself, Mr. Trajan Conley. Now, I had somewhat of a pregame, before the pregame show, that you can listen to exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, where essentially it was an introduction to this ball game, if you will, where I essentially talked about the preview of this game, the magnitude of this game, and during that spiel, I mentioned the quarterback, Trajan Conley, and right. I mentioned how it is time, and it is also his time. This is another guy who's also been here for a total of 5 years, just like the running back Ahmad Antoine. You're talking about a guy who literally had to sit through several quarterbacks before he could finally get his opportunity. He got his opportunity last season, his first year starting as a Panthers quarterback. Again, they went 6-5, 5-3 in conference play. Played exceptionally well, but I am looking for this young man to have a breakout season, particularly a breakout game here against the Panthers.
Right. Like you said, he's been here 5 years, and you can continue to see the growth in his game. So that's kind of all you want to see is can see him continue to grow and continue to get better and continue to produce at the quarterback position for the Panthers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, and speaking of growth for as far as his game goes, what I'm really to look at to see is, did he come into the 2023 campaign with all the tools? Not just one-dimensional,
right?
All the tools.
Right.
If anybody that's listening that followed Panther football last season know what I'm talking about when I say all the tools. Now, this is a young man who's extremely athletic. He's extremely athletic. Typically on third downs and third down situations, the Panthers usually like to go with the empty back setup, and he'll usually do a quarterback keeper up the middle. So he's very, very athletic. So I'm looking to see if he's going to bring all the tools here for this 2023 campaign. And as they're getting ready to do the national anthem, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with more of our pregame show right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
What's going on, guys? It's the voice of PVMU football here with you, Andre Davis, and you.
If you got a big, let me search it. I gotta work, yeah. work it. Baby, I'm taking it If you gotta pay, let me search it. I gotta work ya.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. We're in the midst of our pregame show here, coming to you live from Shell Energy Stadium by way of formerly known as BBVA Stadium. We're in the midst of our pregame show. We have about 15 minutes till kickoff. The Panthers of Prairie View A&M University set to do battle against their Houston rivals, the Tigers of Texas Southern University, in the 38th annual Labor Day Classic Showdown. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, the Panther Backers, the Temple of Refuge Ministries. And we want to let all of our listeners know that September is our partnership drive, and we're asking you to help us out with donation support and contributions of our broadcast coverage throughout Walker County and beyond. You can get right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And if you're out there and you're listening, and you love everything that we're bringing to you here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, and you love popcorn, well, we got everything that you need, and you can get it exclusively at obnradio.com. And we're asking you to head to that website and purchase some of the delicious, finger-licking good popcorn. When you click on this pop-up tent link, you can go to the link, and you'll see that there are several different selections there for you. So if you're somebody that just wants to buy one purchase, two, or a bundle, that link has everything that you need to satisfy your popcorn desires. And again, you can get it exclusively at obnradio.com, and your contributions will be greatly appreciated. And we want to thank you so much for helping us support the cause. Also, if you would like to become a listening partner today, you can do so by visiting the website at obnradio.com. Make your secure donations to help support our broadcast coverage that we're bringing to you live and delayed right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And last but certainly not least, we also want to let our listeners know that if you would like to make the your donations a different way, we're also available via Cash App. You can search us through Cash App at $OBN Radio. Again, that's $OBN Radio. So essentially, Greg, we have pretty much everything covered for you based on how you would like to make your donations. So as we came back from the break, essentially we were breaking down the X's and O's and the key players here for today's game. Essentially, from the Panthers side of things, we talked about the quarterback Trayvon Conley. We talked about the running back Ahmad Antoine, and on the defensive side of things, we talked about the linebacker Keyshawn Johnson. I also forgot to mention the veteran safety Stacey Brown as well. Another guy in the defensive back section that you also want to be on the lookout for here for today's ball game. But we also have to show some love to the Tigers side of things and highlight the key players for the Tigers, Greg. And essentially, I'm going to start with that guy at quarterback, the junior, Mr. Andrew Body. Andrew Body was named SWAC preseason second team offense. He started off the season a little slow, if you will, last year, 2022 to be exact, but he did pick things up midway through the season, and he made certain strides, and he has certain moments that definitely has the entire SWAC buzzing about this young man. So definitely be on the lookout for number one in that maroon, Mr. Andrew Body at quarterback, right?
Right, definitely looking for him to be active as well. I feel like in this game, he kind of can be somewhat of an X factor for the Tigers. I feel like if he can get out of his box and get out of his body a little bit, be a little elusive as well as having a balanced attack with his passing and running ability, I feel like that can really be an X factor for the Tigers today.
And be on the lookout for this guy to take off running as well. You know, something that Trayvon Conley for the Panthers, something that we're used to seeing him doing quite often throughout the course of a ball game. He finished last season with over 600 yards rushing on the ground for the Panthers at the quarterback position, top 5 in the SWAC to be exact. So you definitely have to worry about that for Trayvon Conley, but even for Andrew Body, you know, he's a guy that typically likes to stay in the pocket and make his throws downfield. But if he sees a lane, expect this guy to take off running if he finds an open crease as well, Greg.
Right.
As the players are making their way onto the field, the Panthers are coming in with their white helmets, white jerseys with the gold letters and the purple pants. And for the Tigers coming in their all maroon, Greg, maroon helmets, maroon jerseys, maroon pants with the white letters.
I know we're rooting for the Panthers, but I have to say I love the maroon on maroon for the Tigers. I love those colorways.
I like the color on color to be exact too. So like the Panthers had the white on white, or if they had the gold on gold, purple on purple. I like whatever matches the top matches the bottom. I'm really not a fan of top one color, mixed match. I know certain teams do that. I'm a fan of whatever I'm wearing on top, I'm wearing on bottom. So
solid all around.
Exactly. So as they're standing on their respective sidelines getting ready to do the coin toss in the middle of the field, we're going to continue on here in our pregame show as we have about 9 minutes until kickoff, and we're going over the key players for the Tiger side of things. We mentioned the quarterback, the junior quarterback, Andrew Body, number one. Staying with the offensive side of things, Greg, another player that we definitely have to mention that can possibly be an X factor offensively for the Tigers here in this ball game is the wide receiver, Mr. Derek Morton. Derek Morton was named SWAC preseason first-team offense, finishing top 5 in the SWAC last season in receiving yards, averaging 15.9 yards per catch last season. So no doubt he's going to be the deep ball guy when it comes to the Tigers offense. 15.9 yards per catch last season.
Right.
This young man has a lot of speed on him.
Right. Hey, to imagine that the Tigers don't have him already in the game plan, getting him schemed open early.
Yes. Now, last season, a guy that was actually guarding Mr. Derek Morton in this game last year, and he was also one of the veteran DBs for the Panthers. He did graduate, but that was Mr. Calvin Presley. He won't be here this game, so the biggest question is, will the tall task for the defensive backs, will they be able to handle the deep ball threat for the Tigers here in this ball game?
Right.
And also on the defensive side of things for the Tigers, we also have to mention the defensive end, the redshirt sophomore, Mr. Michael Atkins. Michael Atkins was named preseason second-team defense to start this 2023 campaign, and certainly a force to be reckoned with on that front line for the Tigers. And Mike can essentially appreciate this. The big boys down low doing the dirty work, both offensively and defensively, typically don't receive a lot of love. You know, we always talk about the skill positions, the running backs, the quarterback, the wide receivers. usually the O-line and the D-line usually don't get a whole lot of love. Right. So I want to take this opportunity to highlight this young man because of the things that he did last season, the fact that he's back this season, making some noise on that front line for the Tigers defense.
Right, and like you said, the game is more skill-based. It's the skill positions. Everybody wants to play quarterback and running back and wide receiver. But when you get to the nitty-gritty of football, a lot of football games are won in the trenches. The D-line versus the O-line. Who can assert their dominance first, early, and throughout the game, that's usually who's going to come out with the victory.
And to your point, especially throughout the course of the ball game as we really get into the thick of things. You know, you typically see the highlight plays from the skill position guys early on, but like you mentioned, those guys in the trenches. When we get to mid-third quarter, fourth quarter, when guys are getting tired, mind you, those guys are having physical contact every single play. Now, usually with your skill guys, you know, like your safeties, you know, they may not necessarily be physical every single play,
right.
But mind you, the O-line and the D-line, there's physicality going on with them every single snap. Right. Either somebody is blocking somebody or somebody is getting blocked and trying to shed blocks.
Right.
So once you get to the mid-third quarter, fourth quarter, and your energy level starts to dwindle a little bit, that's when the real guys typically show up.
Right.
So we got about 6:30 remaining here on the game clock here in the midst of our pregame show. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson coming to you live from Shell Energy Stadium. The Panthers of Prairie View University set to do battle against the Tigers of Texas Southern University. Both teams on the sideline as the captains are getting ready to make their way to midfield for the coin toss. If you're just now joining us, the Tigers of Texas Southern coming in their all maroon helmets, maroon jerseys, maroon pants with the white numbers, and the Panthers with their white helmets, white jerseys, and purple pants with the gold numbers. And the captains for the Tigers are going to be Mr. Number 1, Mr. Andrew Body, number 62, Jake Nance, number 58, Aiden Hemphill, and number 23, Ja'Cory Howard. And captain for the Panthers are going to be number 14, Trayvon Conley, and number 9, Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. As I'm sure you can probably hear the Ocean of Soul in the background of Texas Southern, getting things amplified here. Fans are starting to make their way here into the stadium, Shell Energy Stadium to be exact, from downtown Houston, the heart of Houston to be exact.
I don't know about you, Andre, but I can feel the football atmosphere. I feel the energy from the fans, the players, the band. I feel it all.
The energy is here. You know, the band is that's one thing about HBCU football. The band is definitely going to bring the energy. No matter what's going out there on the field, you can rest assured that the band is going to bring the energy each and every single
And sometimes some could argue that most fans probably come for the band.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Make Broadcast Network. We do apologize for those technical difficulties as we have about 45 seconds remaining here on the game clock before these two squads are set to do battle. As both teams just had the coin toss, the captains just had the coin toss at midfield. The Tigers won the coin toss and will be receiving this one once the teams return onto the field. Again, if you're just now joining us, we're broadcasting live from Shell Energy Stadium, formerly known as BBVA Stadium, Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. College football is back, and more importantly, SWAC football is back. And you are, if you're tuned in, you are in for a special treat. It's a 38th annual Labor Day Classic between the Panthers and the Tigers, and we wouldn't have it any other way, Mr. Greg Johnson.
Correct. Wouldn't have it any other way.
As the teams are slowly making their way onto the field, Tigers coming in with the all maroon helmets, maroon jersey, maroon pants with the white numbers. And the Panthers are coming in with the white helmets, white jerseys, purple pants with the gold letters as the Tigers won the coin toss, and they've elected to receive, as the Panthers are going to be kicking this one off, moving from left to right. As the fans are slowly making their way inside Shell Energy Stadium, and I believe we're ready for some SWAC football, Greg. And back to receive this one for the Tigers is going to be number 21, Chazalia Lewis. Panthers are going to be kicking this one from left to right. As this kick is off, and Lewis is going to field this one at his 5-yard line. He gets past the 10, past the 20, he has to hold, and he's going to be brought down right at the 25-yard line. Number 28, Travis Pearson, can credit that stop for the Panthers. And coming out to the field for the Tigers is going to be the quarterback, number 1, Mr. Andrew Body. He's going to have this one at his own 25-yard line. And he's going to be accompanied by the running back, number 23, Ja'Cory Howard. As Body's going to have two receivers to the left and one to the right. He's going to send a man in motion. And a handoff to the running back, and nothing doing as he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage by a plethora of Panthers. And leading the charge on that stop will be the defensive end, number 37, Miles McHaney, as the Tigers actually going to lose a yard on the play, go over the hurry-up offense, 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right, quick pass to the right, and in and out of his hands, incomplete pass. Andrew Body was trying to hook up with number 4, A.J. Bennett. Nothing doing on that play. 3rd down coming up for the Tigers. And a hurry-up offense for the Tigers, as Body's going to have twin receivers, and the running back's going to be offset to his right, and he sends a man in motion. Body. Back to pass. He steps into the pocket. He has nothing. He's going to roll to his right side. He's being pressured, and that pass is going to be caught at the 40-yard line, and it's going to be enough for a Tigers first down.
And on that play, you really love that there by Body getting out of the pocket, finding his open man, keeping the drive alive.
Yes, sir. Kept the drive alive. They're going to go with a quick tempo, hand off to the running back up the middle, and he's going to break to the left side. He's going to go down after a gain of about 3 yards on the play. Ja'Cory Howard on the run for the Tigers. 2nd and 7 coming up. Body's going to have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Howard's going to be offset to his left. Body. Quick pass downfield to the right side. He has a man, and that pass is going to be caught in traffic. Number 4, A.J. Bennett. 2 huge receptions for Mr. A.J. Bennett. And with that, the Tigers are well within Panther territory. First down, ball placed inside the 30-yard line. Ball at the 24 to be exact. Handoff to the running back. He's going to be stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose about a yard on the play. 2 yards to be exact. 2nd and 12 coming up. Ball plays right at the 24-yard line. 26-yard line, excuse me. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Body. Howard's going to be offset to his right. Body. Back to pass. He's been pressure. Flushed out of the pocket. He rolls to his left side. Looking. And he's going to share the defender. And he's going to run this one out of bounds. Not enough for a first down, but he was able to get some positive yards on that QB scramble, as he was pressured by a plethora of Panthers. Leading the charge will be number 99, Mr. Calvin Presley. A transfer from Villanova, Mr. Calvin Presley, defensive end for the Panthers. As we have 3rd down coming up for the Tigers. 3rd and about 7. As Body's going to have 2 receivers on each side. Howard's going to be offset to his left. Ball's placed right at the 18-yard line. Body sends a man in motion. Body back to pass. He looks right through it. He has a wide open man, but he overthrows him, incomplete, as he was trying to hook up with number 7, Jaron Johnson. And with that, we have 4th down coming up.
And on that drive, you really like what you've seen from the Panthers. Maybe not so much in the passing game, but defensively in the run game, they really held their own. They had a couple of negative yardage. Really like what you saw there from the Panthers. Just a couple of tweaks they need to make in the defensive backfield.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the field goal unit comes out to the field for the Tigers to attempt what would be about a 28-yard field goal attempt as the kick is up, and it is no good as it clanks off the right pylon, or the right upright to be exact, excuse me. So field goal no good, and with that we have a turnover on down. The Panthers are going to start this one at their own 20-yard line.
This is probably the best result for the Panthers after having a pretty decent drive come out the first drive for the Tigers.
So definitely your definition of bending but not breaking. The Panthers definitely gave up a couple of huge plays on that drive through the air, but they was able to hold their ground, and with that they're going to have a fresh set of downs, their first drive to be exact, at their own 19-yard line, as Trayvon Conley is going to have two receivers to his left. Ahmad Antoine going to be offset to his left. He hands off to Ahmad Antoine. The Tigers were expecting it, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. So nothing doing on that play as we have 2nd and 10 coming up. As Conley is going to have two receivers on each side. As the Panthers are going to go with an empty backfield setup. Typically what we see for the Panthers on 3rd down, but they're going to go with the empty backfield setup on 2nd down. As Conley sends a man in motion, he's going to fake the jet sweep, and he's going to take up the middle himself, and he's going to be brought down after gaining about 80 yards on the play. So a QB draw up the middle by Trayvon Conley, 8-yard gain, and with that we have 3rd and 2. Ball's officially going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. Panthers moving from left to right. And Conley's going to have two receivers to his left. And Antoine's going to be offset to his right. He sends two guys in motion. And another QB draw from Conley. This time nothing doing as he was met right at the line of scrimmage. And with that, we're going to have 4th down coming up for the Panthers.
For the Panthers there, you really want to see Conley get a little more active in the passing game. We know he can run. We know he can get outside the pocket. We know he can do something with his legs. But maybe on 3rd down, try to trick the defense a little bit. It looked like the Tigers was ready for that quarterback draw.
Which is something that we mentioned in our pregame show. Again, Trayvon Conley is a tremendous athlete. Definitely a guy that can use his feet, no doubt about it. Want to see if we can get things going in the air for the Panthers on their next drive, as number 21, Chazavian Lewis, is back to receive this punt for the Tigers, stand at their own 30-yard line. And he was hit before the ball came to him. That's going to be a flag against the Panthers. Definitely not what the doctor ordered if you're the Panthers. Careless mistake for the Panthers, as we can't quite make out the jersey number of which Panther it was. But either way, number 21, Chazavian Lewis, was attempting to get the punt, and he was hit before the ball actually came to him.
A mental error that the Panthers kind of have to just put in the back of their minds at this point. Early penalty shouldn't hurt too bad. This plays the defense now.
Well, with that penalty, the Tigers are going to start with excellent field position. Ball's going to be placed at their own 49-yard line, moving from right to left, as we have about 10:41 to go here in the first quarter. We're scoreless here in this ball game. Tigers are going to start their 2nd possession here in the first quarter. Andrew Body's going to have two receivers on each side, as Howard's going to be offset to his left, as Body sends a man in motion. And Body's going to look left, go left quickly, has a man that passes caught, pass midfield, and he's finally going to be brought down at the 44-yard line. Gain of about 7 yards on the play, as Body was able to hook up with number 5, Quay Davis. 2nd and 4 coming up for the Tigers, as they now find themselves in Panther territory. Ball placed at the 44-yard line of the Panthers. And Body's going to have two receivers on each side. Howard's going to be offset to his left. And read option, and Body's going to keep this one. He has a lane up the middle, and he's going to be brought down after he gets past the first and second wave of defenders. And it's going to be a first down for the Tigers. Ball's now going to be placed at the 31-yard line of the Panthers. Hurry up offense for the Tigers. Two receivers on each side for Body. And Body's going to look right, throw right. And he has a man. That pass is going to be incomplete. Overshot him. As that pass was intended for number 9, Tavarius Acne. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tigers.
Tigers trying to put together another decent drive.
And when we mentioned Andrew Body in our pregame show, they're letting him do it through the air and on his feet.
Right. Really can see that the Tigers want to get him outside the pocket. Seems that he's a little more comfortable outside than inside the pocket.
Twin receivers for Andrew Body. He sends a man in motion. Howard's going to be offset to his right. Ball placed at the 31-yard line, 2nd and 10. And Body is going to have another man downfield, but just overshot him. This time pass intended for number 8, Derek Morton, the guy we mentioned in our pregame show. And Morton was wide open.
Wide open.
If Body was able to take just a little bit off of that, we could be looking at touchdown for the Tigers.
He might have been a little surprised that he was that open. Didn't expect for him to be that open.
He wanted to try to get it out to him just a little bit more. He expected him to be that wide open. But 3rd and 10 coming up, another huge third down for both squads. Ball plays at the 31-yard line, 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. Empty backfield. Andrew Body's going to have 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Body. Back to pass. He has a man in the middle, and that pass is going to be caught for another Tigers first down. Number 7, Jyron Johnson on another huge reception for the Tigers.
And there you go, Body using his arm there, showing a little accuracy after 2 inaccurate incompletions.
So some substitution for the Panthers. They seem to be confused on defense. May have had too many men on the field as Body was trying to release this one quickly. And we got some yellow laundry on the field. Should be charged against the Panthers as they was trying to do some substitutions, but good recognition by Andrew Body as he saw that they were trying to do substitutes at the last minute, and he hiked the ball.
Right. Looks like they're going to replay the play.
Yes, they're going to replay it to see if the Panthers had too many men, if they had 12 guys on the field by the time Andrew Body hiked the ball.
All right.
But it looks like it's going to stand as is, as the Tigers are going to have 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, and Body's going to be back to pass. Looks right, throw right. He has a man. That pass is going to be caught by Jyron Johnson yet again. Another 8-yard reception. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Tigers. And you notice what we see from Andrew Body. He's not just standing in the pocket. He's keeping the play alive. He's rolling out, rolling left, rolling right, and he's keeping his eyes downfield at all times. The Panthers are getting some pressure on Body, but clearly he's not fazed by the pressure yet so far here in the first quarter.
Right.
2nd and 8 coming up for the Tigers. Ball's now placed at the 13-yard line. Tigers moving from right to left. And Body's going to throw this one quickly to Jyron Johnson. That pass is going to be caught. And he's going to be brought down out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Another first down for the Tigers, and 1st and goal to be exact.
Body really using his arm to get the Tigers down the field on this drive.
Ball's now placed at the 4-yard line of the Panthers. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Howard's going to be offset to Body's left, and a handoff to Howard. Nothing doing as he was met by a plethora of Panthers at the line of scrimmage. So the run game not working so far for the Tigers on their first 2 possessions, but somehow the Panthers haven't had an answer through the air for the Tigers here so far here in this first quarter.
Kind of the same as the first drive. The Tigers really getting it down the field, being able to move the ball down the field through the air, but highlighting the Panthers' defense because nothing else really seems to be working. That defensive line is holding it down in the trenches. 2nd
and goal for the Tigers. This time a fake handoff to Howard as Body was hit as he tried to release this one. Incomplete pass as he was met by the middle linebacker, number 7, Jeremiah Harris, on that play. And we're going to need to see more of that for the Panthers here to kind of slow Mr. Andrew Body down.
Right. Like we mentioned earlier, the Panthers' front 7 is really doing their job, getting the Body's face. It's just the defensive backs in the secondary that need to pick up the slack a little bit, help out the Panthers' front 7 with the great pressure that they're getting to Body.
3rd and goal coming up for the Tigers. Ball placed inside the 5-yard line, 4-yard line of the Panthers to be exact. As we have a stoppage on the play, timeout charge against the Tigers as they want to talk this one over. And when the teams come back, it's going to be 3rd and goal for the Tigers. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Join us each and every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, for a word of encouragement from the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Simply dial 857-777-0000. Building the kingdom, one soul at a time. Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View, Texas.
7:33 to go here in the first quarter. We are scoreless from Shell Energy Stadium, but the Tigers of Texas Southern University are knocking on the door. Andre Davis here with you alongside Mr. Greg Johnson, and so far it's been all Andrew Body and company for the Tigers here. It's only their second drive, but Andrew Body seems to look pretty comfortable in that backfield for the Tigers.
Right. The Panthers are getting a lot of pressure in Body's face, but he doesn't seem to be phased. Complete passes inside and outside the pocket and continues to move the ball down the field despite the run game for the Tigers not really being there.
Now, there is 4 quarters to a ball game. The Panthers are trying to get some pressure on Mr. Andrew Body early on in this ball game. I would keep that pressure on. You have to make him uncomfortable in that secondary. Right now, he's not phased by it. Right now, his eyes are straight downfield, but you have to keep that pressure on him and hopefully to see if it'll work out for you if you're the Panthers defense. As the teams have made their way out onto the field, 3rd and goal coming up for the Tigers. Ball placed at the 3-yard line. As Andrew Body sends a man in motion, he's going to drop back the pass, and that pass is going to be incomplete as he was trying to hook up with number 5, Quay Davis, in the back of the end zone. And with that, we have 4th down coming up for the Tigers. Number 3, Freddie Beard on the coverage for the Panthers on that last play.
And although that was an incompletion, I do like the pass by Body. He tried to put it up where no one else could get it but his receiver just a little bit too high.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the field goal unit comes onto the field to try this with about a 22-yard field goal attempt. As the kick is up, and it is good. As number 16, as we don't have a number 16 on the roster, but either way, the Tigers strike first blood here from Shell Energy Stadium. On top of this one, by the score of 3-0. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Panther action right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Tigers strike first blood here from Shell Energy Stadium. They're on top of this one by the score of 3-0. 7:13 remaining here in the first quarter as the kickoff return was fielded by number 0, Mr. Brian Jenkins. And he fields this one at their own 5-yard line, and he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. So that's where the Panthers are going to set up shop here for their second drive here in the first quarter. Trayvon Collins is going to have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Another handoff to Mr. Ahmad Antoine. Nothing doing. Gains about a yard, 2 yards if you're generous on the play. That's going to bring us 2nd and 8 for the Panthers. So the Panthers are sticking with the run here so far on this second drive. Only a 2-yard pickup by Mr. Ahmad Antoine. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Panthers. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. And this time Conley will drop back the pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be caught in traffic by number 0, Mr. Brian Jenkins, near the first down marker. And they're going to say he's about an inch shy of the first down. So 3rd down coming up, 3rd and inches to be exact. Ball's placed right at the 24-yard line of the Panthers. Panthers moving from left to right. And we're going to have a timeout on the field. This time timeout charge against the Panthers. And when the teams come back, it's going to be 3rd and inches for the Panthers. Ball placed at their own 24-yard line. Tigers on top of this one by the score of 3-0 if you're just now tuning in. And we're going to keep it right here. Second drive for the Panthers. Started off sticking with the run. We see Trayvon Conley drop back the pass on that last play. He completed it to number 0, Mr. Brian Jenkins Jr. for a solid pickup. What do we want to see from Mr. Trayvon Conley on this particular drive if you're the Panthers?
We definitely want to see more tight window passes like that. That was a great accurate pass, able to complete it to his receiver. But we definitely want to see some more over the field, over the middle of the field, getting the ball behind those linebackers into the second level of the secondary. We definitely want to see Conley complete some passes in this second drive.
And honestly, and more so importantly, along with just completed passes, just attempted passes in general.
Right.
You have to open up the defense. You notice that the Tigers have about 4 or 5 guys stacked in the box on those last 2 plays. Why? Because the Panthers have been just running the ball. If it's not Ahmad Antoine, it's been Trayvon Conley.
Right.
So the Tigers are starting to close in a bit more and they're stacking the box.
Right.
You got to open this defense up a little bit.
Right.
I'd like to see the Panthers take some shots downfield.
Right.
Even if you don't complete them, take some shots. Let the Tigers know that, hey, we're going to try to air this thing out. Open them up a little bit more. And if you do that, then you can start to open up your playbook, and now your run game will start to flow a little bit better for you.
Right. Definitely want to open up the playbook, keep the defense honest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And while we still have a quick break in the action, we want to remind all of our listeners that you can join us for the 1876 After Party Postgame Show featuring yours truly, Mr. Dr. Mike Prince, who will break down the X's and O's of today's game, the good, the bad, and the ugly of today's game, and you can do so by listening live by dialing in at 857-777-0000. The number again is 857-777-0000, or you can head to the website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com. About 10 minutes or so following the conclusion of today's broadcast, it's the 1876 After Party Postgame Show featuring yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince. And we want to let all of our listeners know that we want to hear from you. You can always leave your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your concerns on our 24-hour message line by dialing 720-721-1558. The number again is 720-721-1558. Again, it's our 24-hour message line. And be sure to check out our 24-hour streaming full of content featuring interviews and other special events we have here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And you can check it all out by visiting our website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com. As the teams have made their way back out into the field, 30 inches coming up for the Panthers, and they're going to hand this one off to the fullback, and he'll have more than enough for a Panthers first down. And you can credit that to number 89, Mr. David Murray, the tight end, was lined up in the fullback position. They handed off to him, and with that, we're looking at the first set of downs for the Panthers. Their first down here in this ball game. Ball's placed at the 30-yard line. As Conley dropped back to pass, he has a man. That pass is going to be caught inside. Well, no, they're not in Tiger territory just yet. Forgive me. But it was a strike downfield and a first down for the Panthers.
And like we talked about earlier, Conley keeping the defense honest, a nice open pass in the middle of the field. It pulled the chains and also kept the drive alive.
I got a little excited there, Mr. Greg. Ball now plays at the 45-yard line of the Panthers. Panthers moving from left to right. A handoff to Ahmad Antoine at the middle. He gets to the first wave of defenders, and he's going to be brought down this time inside Tiger territory. Ball's now going to be placed inside the 40-yard line. A huge run for Ahmad Antoine and a fresh set of downs for the Panthers.
Definitely starting to get a balanced attack here for the Panthers.
A balanced attack. There you go, Mr. Greg Johnson. A balanced attack for the Panthers. A huge game for Mr. Ahmad Antoine. A fresh set of downs for the Panthers. Ball's now placed inside the 40-yard line, the 38-yard line to be exact, of the Tigers. Panthers moving from left to right. Two receivers to the right and one to the left for Conley. Conley drop back the pass. He has a man, and he's going to air it downfield, and that pass is going to be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers! Trayvon Conley was able to hook up with number 6, Jaquan Bloomfield, and the Panthers scored the first touchdown here in the first quarter for Shell Energy Stadium.
Like we talked about to open up the game, Conley had to come into this game and show his arm talent. And on that pass right there, a beautiful pass down the field for the touchdown.
Because we always knew it was there. He showed some sparks of his arm talent last season, although majority of the success from the Panthers came from the rushing attack of the Panthers. You had Trayvon Conley. You also had 5 other running backs getting the job done. But we always knew Trayvon Conley had an arm on him. Right. And this year we wanted to see more of that. We was able to see that on that last drive. And what happened? It resulted in a touchdown for the Panthers. So the extra point is good. And with that, the Panthers on top of this one by a score of 7-3. We got 4:37 remaining here in the first quarter. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with more Panther action right here at the Yellow Mike Broadcast Network.
People often ask us, when will we develop an app? And I've been telling them all the time, we already have an app right at your fingertip. That app is 857-777-0000. Save this number on your favorites, put it on your speed dial, and every time there's a live broadcast, dial that number, 857-777-0000. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Yellow Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis, Mr. Greg Johnson. The Panthers were able to find Pater on that last drive. Trayvon Conley to number 6, Jaquan Bloomfield. It was about a 35-yard touchdown reception, if you will. And with that, the Panthers on top of this one by a score of 7-3. If you're just now joining us, we have 4:37 remaining here in the first quarter. Panthers mixing things up on that last drive, both through the air and on the ground, and resulted in a touchdown as the Panthers are ready to kick this one off. And back to receive this one for the Tigers will be number 21, Shazavia Lewis, as he's going to be standing at their own 3-yard line, as the Panthers are going to be kicking this one from left to right. So what are some of the things that you noticed there on that last drive by the Panthers?
Just a very balanced attack. Able to do it on the ground, in the air. Conley showing his arm talent that we all already knew he had. Just wanted to see it come together this season. But also running back Ahmad Antoine.
Yes, sir.
Getting it done on the ground, in between the guards, hitting the gap. That just, with the run game, just opened up the pass game. That's all we want to see. It's simple as that.
Now, one thing about Ahmad Antoine, again, this is a 5-year running back veteran that they have on their squad. He's going to get his.
Right.
There were a few of those times where he was stopped at the line of scrimmage and he had a breakout run on that last drive, but you don't have to worry about Ahmad Antoine. He's definitely going to get his, as this kick is going to be caught at the 20-yard line, and the ball's going to be popped out, and it looks like it was recovered by the Panthers. We're waiting to get the official signal as Xavier Lewis coughed up this one, and yes, sir, as that ball is going to be recovered by the Panthers. So the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs. Special teams coming through for the Panthers to force a fumble, and they was able to recover it. And with that, the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs inside Tigers territory. Ball is going to officially be spotted. Should be about the 28-yard line. We'll see where they officially mark it. But things are slowly, 27-yard line to be exact. Things are slowly starting to come together for the Panthers here late in this first quarter. Trason Collins is going to have 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Ahmad Antoine is going to be offset to his left. And a handoff to Ahmad Antoine. And he's going to keep his legs moving as he was met by the first wave of defenders. And he picks up some positive yards on that play. Gain of about 5 yards to be exact. So some tough running by Ahmad Antoine. Looks like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, but he was able to keep his legs moving for some extra positive yards. And with that, the Panthers are going to have 2nd and 5. Ball plays at the 23-yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. This time Conley's going to drop back the pass. He has a man on the left side. That pass is going to be caught. And they're going to say he didn't get 1 foot in bounds. Again, this is college football. He only needs 1 foot in bounds for it to be a completed pass. But he wasn't able to get 1 foot in bounds as he was trying to hook up with number 1, Stacey Brown. They got Stacey Brown playing receiver for the Panthers. The 3rd down coming up for the Panthers. 3rd and 5. Empty backfield for the Panthers. And Collins is going to go with the QB draw, and he's going to be hit right at the first down marker. We do have some yellow laundry. This one came from the back judge, which usually indicates holding against the offense, as we'll wait to get the call. So this penalty was actually charged against the Tigers, face mask against the Tigers. So the ball is going to be half the distance to the goal line, an automatic first down for the Panthers. So it should be 1st and goal, and the ball is now going to be placed inside the 10-yard line, at the 8-yard line to be exact. As Conley is going to go with an empty backfield setup again. 2 receivers on each side. He sends a man in motion. This time a jet sweep to the right side. And he's going to be tripped up at about the 6-yard line. About a 3-yard gain on the play. Number 0, Brian Jenkins on the jet sweep for the Panthers. 2nd and goal coming up. We have 3:16 to go here in the first quarter. Panthers on top of this one, 7-3. They're knocking on the door yet again, thanks to the fumble recovery by special teams.
They definitely don't want to put too much pressure on this drive. 3 points is always great, but you can't help but think this is a great opportunity for the Panthers to really get a reign of this game here.
3 points is great, but I want 7. And this time, a fake handoff. Khan's going to keep it himself, but he's not going to make it in as he was stopped near the goal line. As Conley went with the read option with Ahmad Antoine, but instead of handing it off to Ahmad Antoine, he kept it himself. But the Tigers were expecting this one, and with that, we're going to have third down coming up for the Panthers. So the Panthers are trying to inch their way to Pater as the Tigers are holding on for dear life. This time Conley's going to be lined up under the center. Another handoff to the fullback, and he keeps his legs moving, and he will be in for a Panthers touchdown. Number 89, Mr. David Murray, the tight end, the same tight end that was responsible for getting the first down for the Panthers on the previous drive when there was 3rd and inches. Lined up in the fullback position. They ran with the same play. He lines up in the fullback position. Ball was placed at the 2-yard line. He handed off to David Murray, and with that, the Panthers on top of this one, 13-3, with the PAT to follow.
That's just what the coach McDowell rewarding the big fellas for doing the dirty work on the previous drive, keeping that drive alive.
And we talked about the big guys doing the dirty work in our pregame show. Again, we mainly talked about the defensive line and the O-line doing the dirty work. But Mr. David Murray doing the dirty work at fullback. Again, his natural position is tight end for the Panthers. But he looks at about, we don't have it official in front of us, but he looks about 6'4", about 200 pounds. Big guy. Very big guy, lines up in fullback position, gets enough yards for the Panthers, and with that, the Panthers now on top of this one, 14-3 after that successful PA try by the Panthers.
Right. Definitely can see that the Panthers are asserting their dominance inside the trenches on the defensive side and the offensive side. Although the Tigers are moving down the field through the air, the Panthers are definitely holding it down in the trenches on the defensive side of the ball.
So the Panthers were able to take advantage of the fumble recovery from special teams and capitalize on the score as we have 2:08 to go here in the first quarter. The Panthers are set to kick this one off. They're going to be kicking from left to right. And number 21, Mr. Xavier Rule, is back to see this at the 5-yard line. As he coughed it up on the previous drive, he's going to throw this one at the 10-yard line. He's going to get past the 20. And he's going to be brought down past the 25-yard line. And the ball is officially going to be spotted at the 27-yard line. Tigers going to be moving from right to left. As Mr. Andrew Body trumps out to the field for the Tigers. As he has his work cut out for him. It's been a minute since we've seen Mr. Andrew Body. As the Panthers have scored twice since the last time we've seen Mr. Andrew Body. We'll see how well he can get things going for the Tigers here on their 3rd possession here in the first quarter. And it's going to be an empty backfield setup for Mr. Andrew Barr. He's going to have 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. And he sends a man in motion. It's going to be the running back, Ladarius Owens. And fake to Ladarius Owens, and Andrew Barr's going to keep it himself on the right side, and he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Gain of 8 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Tigers. Read option on that last play. Andrew Body kept it himself. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. Second down coming up for the Tigers. Ball plays at the 35-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. And this time he's going to hand off to Howard, and he's going to have just enough for a Tigers first down. Check that. That was actually number 22, Ladarius Owens, on the run for the Tigers. Short gain. Actually, they're going to say he was a half a yard shy of the first down. As they're saying it's 3rd and inches for the Tigers. As it looks like he had enough for a first down on that last drive. But now they're changing it. Well, okay, well, they're changing it now. So first down for the Tigers. Ball's going to be placed at their own 37-yard line. Tigers moving from right to left. We have 1:07 to go here in the first quarter. 17-3 is our score in favor of the Tigers. Hand off to Ladarius Owens. He's going to cut to the right side. He has a lane. He's going to get past midfield, past the 40. And he's finally going to be brought down at about the 35-yard line. A huge run for Mr. Ladarius Owens. And a first down for the Tigers as they find themselves inside Panther territory, going with a hurry-up offense. As Biden's going to be dropped back to pass, he's going to be flushed out the pocket, roll to his left side, and he's just going to keep it himself. He's going to get past the 30, past the 25. He's going to be brought down at about the 24-yard line. Some nice scrambling by Mr. Andrew Body as he was looking for A.J. Bennett downfield. Couldn't get a hold of him, so he just kept it himself. Another fresh set of downs for the Tigers. Ball now plays right at the 24-yard line as he throws left quickly, and he's going to be caught right at the 20-yard line. Number 5, Quay Davis on the reception for the Tigers. And that last play should take us to the end of the first quarter. So our first quarter has concluded here from Shell Energy Stadium. 17-3 is our score in favor of the Panthers. It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic here from Shell Energy Stadium. Panthers on top of this one by a score of 17-3. When the teams return and flip sides, the Tigers going to have this one at their own at the Panthers' 22-yard line to be exact. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action right here at the Urban Mike Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student-athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. Through consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors, the Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. As we're at the top of the second quarter here from Shell Energy Stadium, Panthers on top of this one by a score of 17-3. As the teams have switched sides, you're just now joining us. We're broadcasting live from the heart of Houston, Texas, Shell Energy Stadium. We're literally 10 feet away from the home of the Houston Astros, Minute Maid Park. And it does not get any better than this. Mr. Greg Johnson, if you had to guess, how many people would you say are in attendance here for this ball game?
Maybe just throwing out a number, probably close to 10,000.
About 10,000, maybe? Okay. I'm gonna say about half of that. I'm going to say about half of 10,000 people here in attendance for the 38th annual Labor Day Classic between the Tigers of Texas Southern and the Panthers of Prairie View University. Well, the teams have switched sides, and the Tigers going to have this one, 2nd and 7. Ball plays at the 20-yard line of the Panthers. And a jet sweep to the right side, but nothing doing. That's right at the line of scrimmage by a plethora of Panthers. And with that, we're going to have 3rd down for the Tigers. 3rd and 6 to be exact. As Body's going to have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Number 22, Ladarius Owens, is going to be offset to his left. As the Tigers and company are trying to answer back from the 2 scores of the Panthers. And a quick throw to the right side by Ladarius Owens, and he's going to have this one And it's going to be enough for a Tigers first down. So a swing pass out of the backfield to Ladarius Owens, and he gets just enough for Tigers first down. First and goal now for the Tigers, ball inside the 10-yard line. So ball's now placed at the 9-yard line. Tigers moving from left to right. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Body. And Body's going to look right and throw right, and he has a man. That pass is going to be caught in the end zone for a Tigers touchdown. Andrew Body was able to hook up with number 4, A.J. Bennett.
And you have to imagine that passing game for the Tigers was going to catch up to the Panthers eventually. There's a whole lot of passes getting completed in the Panthers secondary, and you had to imagine that it was going to catch up to them eventually. And now the Tigers have a good 6 points up on the board.
Well, Andrew was able to hook up with Mr. A.J. Bennett several times in that first quarter, so we knew he was going to try to find him again here in the second quarter. So Tigers were able to answer back with that last drive. As we're now trailing this one by the score of 14, should be 14-10. Yes, okay. It was showing 14-9 on the scoreboard, but 14-10 is now our score, still in favor of the Panthers. But the Tigers had no problem answering back on that last drive. We got 13:43 to go here in the second quarter. We're going to keep it right here. Tigers are showing that they're not going to lay down easy, Greg.
Right. You thought the Panthers could get a hold of this game, get a little momentum going up 2 scores. But the Tigers showing that they not backing down, they aren't scared of a challenge, and they want to make this a game and keep this a game.
Well, this is what we came here for. It's a 38th annual Labor Day Classic. It's a Houston rivalry, if you will. As I mentioned in our pregame show, only 50 miles and 3 highways separate these two schools.
Right.
The Panthers have been victorious in this ball game for the past 8 seasons. They're trying to make it number 9, but the Tigers are trying to answer that here in this game. Good game so far if you're just now joining us. Tigers are still on top of this. Check that. Panthers on top of this by a score of 14-10. And we'll see if they can answer here to start this next drive. As the Panthers are going to be fielding this one, moving from right to left. And it's going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. He's going to get past the 15, brought down just past the 20-yard line. And we can credit that kick return to number 35, Mr. Cody Mayberry. As the Panthers are going to set up shop at their own 22-yard line. They're going to be moving from right to left. And the last time the Panthers were out, we saw them kind of mix it up a little bit through the air and on the ground. We're going to see if they're going to do the same thing here to start their first drive of the second quarter. And Conley's going to have 3 receivers to his right. And play action fake. He's going to throw it to the right side. That pass is going to be caught on the far side of the field. And it's going to be enough for a Panthers first down. Trayvon Conley was able to hook up with number 10, Trajan Spiller, for a nice gain through the air. And the first set of downs for the Panthers. Ball now placed at their own 42-yard line, moving from right to left. 3 receivers to the left for Conley. And Ahmad Antoine's going to be all set to his right. This time again to Ahmad Antoine. Makes a cut up the middle. And he's going to be brought down after gaining 4 yards on the play. Second and 6 coming up for the Panthers. Ball now placed at their own 45-yard line. 12:40 to go here in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Conley. This time he's going to have 2 running backs in the backfield. And a handoff at the middle. He breaks to the right side, and he's going to be brought down in what would appear to have been a touchdown-saving tackle. And that was number 3, Mr. Caleb Johnson, the transfer from Mississippi Valley, on that nice run for the Panthers, getting his first action here in this 38th annual Labor Day Classic.
And we don't have the numbers officially, but you can really tell how Trayvon Conley's passing game can really affect the offensive game for the Panthers. as you can see, the running backs have big holes, and keeping the defense honest because they also watching for Conley's passing game as well.
Well, it opens things up for your offense. You know, when you can be successful through the air and on the ground, it definitely opens some things up for you. As Conley's going to drop back the pass, and this time he has nobody, and he's going to safely throw this one out of bounds. As essentially he was trying to hook up with number 10, Trajan Spiller. It was like Spiller ran what appears to have been a post route, but Conley was looking for him on a corner fade route, if you will. Nobody in the area, but Conley was able to safely throw that one away. We have 2nd and 10 coming up. The Panthers are inside Tiger territory. Ball officially placed at the 35-yard line of the Tigers. Panthers moving from right to left. One receiver on each side for Conley. And another handoff to Caleb Johnson. This time the Tigers were waiting for him as he was met right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on that play. So Caleb Johnson will check out the game. Ahmad Antoine. Well, it looks like Ahmad Antoine was going to check in for Caleb Johnson. Well, we may have another empty backfield setup for the Panthers. Yep. And we will have just that, empty backfield setup for the Panthers, something we typically see on 3rd down. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. Ball is going to be spotted at the 35-yard line, 3rd and 10. Conley, back to pass. He has nobody. He rolls to his right side. He's still looking downfield, and he has a man, and that ball is going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Wow.
Love that play by Conley, able to keep the play alive with his legs, and still able to look downfield and find an open man.
This time, Conley was able to hook up with number 83, Metcalf. And to your point, Conley was able to keep that drive open. There was nothing there originally, but Conley was able to keep his eyes downfield. He rolled to the right side. Metcalf realized he was in trouble, made himself available, and with that, the Panthers have a fresh set of downs after that huge gain through the air by Mr. Metcalf. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball plays right at the 10-yard line of the Tigers. One receiver on each side for Conley. As we have a stoppage in the play. Timeout on the field. Timeout charge against the Panthers. The 2nd timeout on the field. And we're going to keep it right here. Panthers on top of this one, 14-10. We have 10-16 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Panthers are knocking on the door yet again. Huge play through the air on that last play. Trajan Collins able to hit with Mr. Metcalf, keeping his eyes downfield. Huge gain through the air, and the first set is down for the Panthers.
And honestly, it looked like the play had broken down. Nobody really was open. It was going to be another incompletion that Conley just had to throw away, but he was able to roll out, look down the field, and wide receiver was able to get away from his man and just get open, and him and Conley ended up connecting on the great connection.
And already, Greg, we can tell that this is a different year. This is not like last year. The reason being is because last year, if we take that same play, that same scenario, Conley would have either tried to throw it away or he would have just tried to take it himself, which is typically what he did quite often last year. But this year, with this particular game, that is, we saw Conley keep his eyes downfield, take a shot downfield. You have to give your receivers an opportunity to make plays if you're the quarterback. And so far, Trajan Conley is doing that. Both quarterbacks are doing that, actually.
Right.
Andrew Body is doing that for the Tigers. Trajan Conley is doing that for the Panthers. It's the showdown between quarterbacks here in this ball game. Right. And if you're tuning in or if you're here at Shell Energy Stadium, you have to like what you see from both squads. But your TV Nation, you have to like what you see for the Panthers so far here in this ball game.
Right, definitely have to love it. Came into this game hoping for a balanced attack on offense, and so far that's what you get. Good running game, good passing game, leads to a 14-10 lead for the Panthers.
Well, while we still have a quick break in the action, we want to remind all of our listeners that September is our listening partnership drive, where we ask you to help us out with donations and support and contributions of our broadcast coverage throughout Wallen County and beyond that you can get only exclusively right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And with that being said, we have a popcorn fundraiser going on as we speak. It started September 1st, and it's going on as we speak, and it ends September 4th at 12 p.m. noon. And we're asking you to tell a friend, to tell another friend, to tell that friend to head on down to obnradio.com and purchase some of that finger-licking good, delicious popcorn to help us out with our broadcast coverage, live and delayed, right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. As the teams have made their way back out to the field, 1st and 10 for the Panthers, moving from left to right. Ball placed at the 10-yard line. Connor's going to have 2 receivers to the right. And a read option, and he had no one, and Collins is going to safely throw this one out of bounds as he was trying to hook up with Metcalf yet again, giving him a little reward, trying to give him a little reward after that last huge game through the air. But this time,
were ready for it.
Yes, sir. He was definitely tightly covered.
All over that one.
Tightly covered on that play. So 2nd and 10 coming up. One receiver on each side for Conley. Ahmad Antoine is going to be the running back in the backfield. He's going to be offset to his right. Another read option. This time Conley is going to try to keep it himself. And he's going to be forced out of bounds as they had not one but 2 spies on Conley.
Some might argue 2 might not be enough.
Well, 2 was definitely enough on that play. It was enough on that play as he only was able to get about 3 yards, if you will. So 3rd down coming up for the Panthers. Ball's going to be placed at the 7-yard line. 9:40 to go and counting here in the 2nd quarter. Panthers on top of this on 14-10. Empty backfield for the Panthers. 2 receivers on each side. A QB draw. Collins going to take it himself. Tigers are ready for it. And he's going to be brought down. Only gained about 2 yards on the play. And with that, we have 4th down coming up. So if you're the Panthers, Greg, do you try to be aggressive and go for it, or do you just kick the field goal?
That's a hard call. But here, I'm not mad at going for it here, being aggressive. I don't see the main need to. The defense has held up. The offense for the Tigers has moved the ball, but at the end of the day, you're up for a reason. But it looks like they're going to go ahead, be conservative, and take 3 points.
Yes, sir. Field goal unit is onto the field to attempt this what appears to be about a 25-yard field goal attempt for the Panthers. The snap is down, kick is up, and it is good as we can credit that field goal to number 47, Mr. Perez. And with that, the Panthers will extend their lead 17-10 here in the 2nd quarter with 8:44 to go. And we're going to keep it right here. And we're going to remind all of our listeners today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, proudly serving student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, you can dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817. You can ask for Mr. Greg Austin. Today's game is also brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. The number again is 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries that you can listen live each and every Sunday morning at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. The number again is 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom one soul at a time. Also, we remind all of our listeners to listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show covering the world of HBU sports and beyond. And again, you can listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our website at obnradio.com. And if you like the coverage and everything that we've been giving to you here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, if you would like to become a listening partner, you can do so today. Head on down to our website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com, and make your secure donation today. Your donations will help us continue bringing live sports action featuring our local student athletes right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Also, you can find us on Cash App at $OBNradio.com. Again, that's OBNradio.com. As the teams are making their way back onto the field, Greg, the Panthers getting ready to kick this one off, moving from right to left. They're on top of this one by a score of 17-10. We got 8:44 to go here in the second quarter. Number 21, Xavier Lewis, will be back to receive this one for the Tigers, as he's standing at their own 1 yard line. As this kick is off, and Lewis going to field this one at the 1 yard line. Going to get past the 10, past the 15. He's going to cut to the right side, past the 20, and he's finally going to be brought down right at the 21 yard line. We do have a flag on the play. Flag came from the far side of the field. Could be holding charged against the receiving team, right?
Could be.
As we're waiting to get the call, special teams for the Panthers came up big in the first quarter with a fumble recovery. And we'll see what the flag is, as the officials are still waiting to make out what the call will be. So not a holding, but either way, it was charged against the receiver team, a legal block in the back. So half a distance to the goal. It will be first down for the Tigers, but they're going to have a tough task to have here on this drive.
I definitely want to see if Body can continue to get into his bag of tricks and continue to keep drives alive, move his legs, look down the field. Just looking to be consistent here on this next drive.
Well, he's been confident so far here in this ball game. He's showing the confidence that he can lead this Tigers offense. And like I said, we'll see if he can do so here on this drive. Ball's going to officially be spotted at their own 8 yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Body. And Body's going to air this. Well, he's going to attempt to air this one out downfield. And he has a man. That pass is going to be caught near midfield. Number 5, Quay Davis, on a huge reception on that play.
Like I said earlier, just want to see Body continue to do what he's been doing all game. You see that he continues to get out the pocket, look downfield, and hit his man.
Well, and another handoff up the middle, this time a gain of about 4 yards on the play. And number 23, Mr. Jacory Howard, on the carry for the Tigers. And on that last play, not bad coverage by the DB for the Panthers. Number 20, Jawan Lewis, had tight coverage against Mr. Quay Davis, but just an excellent catch by that young man. And with that, the Tigers are in Panther territory. Ball officially spotted at the 41-yard line of the Panthers.
Not to mention the pinpoint pass by Body as well.
Yes, sir.
Right
pinpoint pass. Yes, sir. 2 receivers on each side for Body. Howard's going to be offset to his right. We have another stoppage in the play. As we're waiting to get the call. Couldn't quite make out what the call is. There's no flags. Ball hasn't moved. Could be adjusting the play clock. Excuse me, the game clock, if you will. As we're showing 7:32 on the game clock, to be exact. 17-10 is our score in favor of the Panthers. As the play will resume, ball's going to be spotted at the 41-yard line of the Panthers. 2 receivers on each side for Body. Howard's going to be offset to his right. Body's going to look left, go left quickly, and the pass is going to be tipped and intercepted by the Panthers. Wow.
Hands up to play there by the Panthers. Good awareness to see the ball go up into the air. We get a turnover.
In and out of his hands, and you can credit that interception to number 3, Mr. Freddie Beard of the Panthers. So 2 turnovers so far here in this ball game. One by special teams and another defensively by the Panthers. And with that, the Panthers offense will have a fresh set of downs. Ball's going to be spotted at the 38-yard line. Panthers moving from right to left. Collins going to have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Ahmad Antoine's going to be running back to accompany Collins. He's going to hand off to Ahmad Antoine. And he's going to be met by 3 or 4 Tigers, if you will. Gains about 3 yards on the play. So 2nd and 7 coming up. Ball placed right at the 40-yard line. Panthers moving from right to left. One of the things we want to see for the Panthers, control the clock on this drive. You don't have to be in a hurry, but you also don't want to be complacent as well. Three receivers to the left for Conley. Conley, back to pass. He has some time. He has a man. That pass is going to be intercepted by the Tigers.
So the Tigers are going to get it back there. And in a game like this where the score is 17-10, crucial turnovers, I feel like are going to be a killer for each side.
So now what the doctors ordered, but check that. The Panthers offense is still on the field. I believe they're going to call this one. Oh, wow. So the call on the field officially was an incomplete pass. The last play, this play is now will be under review.
And just seeing the replay on the Jumbotron, me personally, in my opinion, that looks like an interception.
So what we're looking for is, did he have control? Did he get underneath the ball before he hit the ground? We saw the ball kind of come out a little bit, but did he have complete control of it? It was number 21, Mr. Dylan Picard for the Tigers. And the question is, did he have complete control of the ball as he was headed to the ground?
Right.
Either way, we have a good one. The Panthers, Conley actually had a man downfield. He was wide open. He just kind of underthrew him just a little bit. If you would put just a little bit more mustard on that one, it would be a huge game. We could be looking at first down for the Panthers.
That throw was definitely a little lax. Not sure what Conley's thought process was there, but if it does end up being a turnover, all you can do is move on to the next drive once you get the ball back and continue to keep the thing rolling. The turnover, you can't look back on.
Yeah, and yes, and to your point, the pass definitely was a little lax, and the cornerback, good job by the cornerback recognizing how much lax it had on the pass, and he broke on it right in the nick of time when he needed to.
Right.
So while they're sorting that out, we're going to keep it right here. And again, want to remind all of our listeners that September is our listening partnership drive, where we're asking you to help us out to support us with donations and contributions for our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond that you can get exclusively right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. As of right now, we are having a popcorn drive fundraiser, if you will, and any contributions to that will help us out for our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond as we continue to travel the country to bring you excellent broadcast coverage right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And you can do so by heading to the website at obnradio.com. Purchase your popcorn today. As the teams have made their way back out onto the field, and this particular call is going to be overruled as they ruled this one an interception by the Tigers, as they're going to have a fresh set of downs, now moving from left to right. And ball officially is going to be spotted at the 46-yard line of the Tigers. So first turnover by Trayvon Conley here in this ball game. Still no need to panic. Panthers still on top of this one, 17-10. We got 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. As Body is going to go with a QB draw up the middle, and he's going to be stopped at the gain of about 40 yards on the play. Number 99, Calvin Presley, the defensive end on the stop for the Panthers. As Body is hot so far here in this first half, gains 4 yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 6 coming up. Ball right at midfield. Two receivers on each side. This time Body's going to hand off to Howard. Howard's going to cut to the right side, get past the first wave of defenders, and he's going to be brought down right at the first down marker. And they're going to say we have enough for a Tigers first down. So ball's now placed inside Panther territory, 34-yard line to be exact. Hurry up offense for the Tigers. Quick pass to the right side. Pass going to be completed to number 7, Jaron Johnson. Gains nearly enough for a first down with that reception. 9 yards to be exact. 2nd and 1 coming up. Ball at the 35-yard line. Two receivers on each side. To Body. Howard's going to be offset to his right. This time a play action fake. And Body's going to have a man downfield. And that pass will be caught for a Tigers touchdown. Wow.
Body there with another laser.
Number 4, A.J. Bennett on the touchdown reception for the Tigers. And with the PAT to follow, the Tigers now trail this one 16-17. We have 5:18 to go here in the second quarter.
Like I said previously, turnovers in this game are going to be costly for both sides.
Yes, sir. The snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So the Tigers were able to capitalize on that interception by Mr. Dylan DeCare. Andrew Body able to hook up with number 4, A.J. Bennett, in the end zone. And with that, we have a tie ball game here from Shell Energy Stadium, Greg.
Like we said at the beginning of the game as well, the energy in this building has been great from the start to now. Great game so far, 17-17. Both teams putting up great effort.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As the teams make their way back onto the field, we're going to keep it right here. A lot of action here in this first quarter. Again, if you're tuned in or if you're here live at Shell Energy Stadium, I can honestly say so far here in this first half, you've got your money's worth. If you're a fan of the Texas Southern Tigers or if you're PV Nation, money has been worth so far here in this ball game. A lot of action from both teams. The Panthers were able to capitalize on some turnovers in this first half. The Tigers were able to capitalize on that turnover on that last drive. We have a tie ball game as the Tigers are going to kick this one off. And Jenkins is going to field this one at the 10-yard line. He's going to get past the 20, and he's going to run into his own man as he was brought down near the 30-yard line. And check that. That was actually number 30, Benjamin Stewart. And he ran into his own man on that kick return. Could have gained about an extra 10 or 15 more yards if he would. Either way, the Panthers will have a first set of downs as the ball is officially going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. Panthers going to be moving from right to left. And if you're Trayvon Conley, you just had your first turnover of this ball game. You come out, you can shake it off. Now that you've experienced your first turnover, now you can go out there and play. Do the things that you were doing in the first quarter, in the beginning of the second quarter, to start this next drive for the Panthers. And you're going to have two receivers to his right and one to the left. And he's going to hand off to the running back as he was met right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on that play as he was met by the defensive tackle, number 5, Linus Noel III. And that was the running back, Caleb Johnson, on the carry for the Panthers. Caleb Johnson, the transfer from Mississippi Valley. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Panthers. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. This time Collins going to drop back the pass. He has some time. Nobody downfield. He's just going to take it himself. And Collins going to bust through the left side, past the 30, and he's going to be brought down. Well, he's going to fall down, actually, near the 35-yard line. Picks up some solid yards on the play as we have about 3rd and 4 to be exact. Huge 3rd down coming up for the Panthers. Ball at their own 34-yard line. Panthers moving from right to left. 4:08 to go here in the second quarter. We are all tied at 17. Caleb Johnson, the running back for the Panthers, in the backfield. He's going to be all set to Conley's left. Conley's going to have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Conley's going to attempt another pass. He's still looking downfield. He doesn't have anybody. He's going to safely throw this one out of bounds. As Conley was trying to look for a man downfield, nice coverage by the Tigers secondary as Conley had to safely throw that one away. As we have a flag on the play on the far right side of the field where Conley threw this one out of bounds. So they're going to say because there wasn't a receiver in the vicinity in which Conley threw it, wasn't quite out the pocket. It appears that he was outside the pocket, but they didn't say he wasn't outside the pocket just yet. There wasn't a man in the area in which he was throwing. So intentional grounding charge against the Panthers. That's going to back them up further in their own territory. It is 4th down, so the punting unit is onto the field to punt this one off as Mr. Shavion Lewis is back to receive this punt for the Tigers. He's standing at their own 32-yard line. And he's going to catch this one at the 35, and he's going to take this one out to the 40-yard line. Officially brought down at the 41-yard line to be exact. As the Tigers are going to have a fresh set of downs beginning at their own 41-yard line. Excellent field position to be exact.
A whole lot of momentum shifted in this game, too. Tigers felt like they could take over at some point. Panthers felt like they could take over at some point. Now it's back in the Tigers' field. Now the ball is back in the Tigers' court. Let's see what they can do going into halftime, see if they can really take over this game.
And that young man, that quarterback, Mr. Andrew Body, is on fire so far here in this ball game, if you will. You'll have excellent field position. Ball placed at the 41-yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Body. This time he's going to hand off to Howard in the backfield. Nothing doing. Several white jerseys all over that one, if you will. And number 99, Calvin Presley, along with several other Panthers on that stop. Haven't really seen much from the linebacker, Keyshawn Johnson, so far here in this first half. As the Tigers are going to have 2nd and 13 coming up. And Andrew Body's going to try to take one up the middle. He breaks a couple of tackles. Only gains about a yard on the play. As Andrew Body went with the QB draw, if you will. Panthers are all over that one. So a huge 3rd down coming up for both squads, if you will, as we're all tied at 17. 2:30 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Ball's placed at the 40-yard line of the Tigers, moving from left to right. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Body. Howard's going to be offset to his left. As Body's going to drop back the pass. He's going to step into the pocket. He has a man. That pass is going to be in and out of his hands. Incomplete. He was trying to hook up with number 7, Mr. Jaron Johnson. As that was actually a good pass by Andrew Body. Jaron Johnson wasn't able to haul that one in. And with that, we're going to have 4th down coming up. As we have a stoppage on the field, looks like we have an injured Panther on the field. As we're going to get the jersey number of that Panther. It appears to be the defensive lineman, number 47, Mr. Davier Farrell. As he is up, appears to be walking off on his own strength, so that's a good sign if you're Panther Nation. So the punting unit out onto the field. 4th down coming up. Ball placed at the 40-yard line, so the Panthers get a huge stop on 3rd down. And Trayvon Conley will get another crack at this one, if you will, here late in the 2nd quarter. As number 0, Brian Jenkins, is back to receive this punt for the Panthers. He's standing at their own 15-yard line. And he's going to wave this one off as that one takes a slight Panther bounce. And officially will be fielded at the 31-yard line. So that's where the Panthers are going to set up shop here, moving from right to left when the teams make their way back out to the field. We got 2:08 to go here in the 2nd quarter. If you're just now joining us, we are all tied from Shell Energy Stadium. It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic. It's been a showdown, if you will. I call it a showdown, Greg, in our pregame show. And what a showdown it's been so far here in the first half. So 2 receivers on each side for Conley. A handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He's going to cut to the right side, get past the 40-yard line. A huge gain on the ground, and a 1st down for the Panthers. Ball plays right at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Panthers over the hurry-up offense. We do have a stoppage on the field. A timeout charge against Texas Southern. Appears they didn't like what they saw on the field, so they took a timeout to talk things over. We're going to take a timeout, and we're going to come back with more action right here from the Upper Mike broadcast Network.
Join us each and every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, for a word of encouragement from the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Simply dial 857-777-0000. Building the kingdom, one soul at a time. Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View, Texas.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. As it looks like the teams were getting ready to make their way out to the field as they're heading back to their respective sidelines. Appears to be a TV timeout, if you will. And we're going to take another timeout, and we're going to come back with more action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We're all tied at 17 with 1:52 to go here in the second quarter, and when the teams make their way back onto the field, the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs. Ball's going to be spotted at their own 44-yard line.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers. 3% of support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors. The Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Teams have made their way back out onto the field. And first down for the Panthers. Panthers went with a run on first down, handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He picked up about 5 yards on the play. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Ball is right at midfield, the 49-yard line of the Panthers to be exact, moving from right to left. 2 receivers on east side for Conley. Another handoff to the left side by Ahmad Antoine. This time nothing doing. He was able to share some defenders and make it right back to the line of scrimmage. And with that, we're going to have third down coming up for the Panthers. So the Panthers kind of being conservative, Greg, if you will. Nothing through the air so far here on this drive. It's been all runs so far as the ball is placed right at midfield.
You have to imagine that Conley's turnover had something to do with that, but at that point, Conley's turnover in his mindset has to be what turnover? You have to forget about that turnover. The game continues. So maybe in the second half we'll see him start to open up a little bit more with the passing. But right now, yes, I would agree they are being very conservative.
Well, if you're the coach yourself, you also have to point to how successful Conley was through the air in that first quarter. He did have a turnover on the previous possession, but for the most part, he's been pretty successful downfield here so far here in this first half. Again, it's all about opening things up. You know, turnovers are going to happen. It's part of the game. Now, we haven't seen any turnovers from Mr. Andrew Body on the other side. However, turnovers are part of the game. You can't let one turnover allow you to start playing conservative if you're the Panthers.
Right, right.
So another timeout on the field. Looks like this timeout was charged against the Tigers. Should be their second timeout. It was a 30-second timeout, trying to talk things over. A huge third down for both squads. If the Tigers are able to get a stop here on third down, gives them another opportunity. They may have another opportunity with about 40 seconds to go here on the game clock, try to add more points on the scoreboard, Greg. So teams are back out to the field. Third down for the Panthers. As Collins going to look right through while he has a man, that pass is going to be incomplete. As he was hit immediately, he was trying to hook up with number 0, Brian Jenkins, on a slant route. As Jenkins was hit immediately as that ball came to him, Greg.
Tried to get that pass out real quick. Defense was all over it. The Tigers were ready for it. Probably just going to go into halftime here.
So now we have an interesting setup, if you will. It's fourth down. The punting unit is on the field, but we have 36 seconds to go on the game clock. If you're the Panthers, your goal is to try to pin them deep in their own territory as much as possible. As this punt is off, it's going to take a PV bounce, and this one is going to be fair catch inside the 10-yard line of the Tigers. So nice punt on that last play, as this one's going to be officially spotted at the 8-yard line of the Tigers. So Andrew Body trots out to the field, and if he can, he has 27 seconds to try out 92 yards on this next drive. But it appears that they're going to line up in their fielding formation, if you will. Yes, sir, as the Tigers are going to do just that. They're going to take a knee to essentially go into halftime, Greg. And with that, our first half has come to an end here from Shell Energy Stadium. 17-17 is our score. Nothing but fireworks, if you will, from both squads here in that first half. And we want to see what both teams have working for them to start the second half here in this ball game. It's the 30th annual Labor Day Classic, and we're coming to you live from Shell Energy Stadium, formerly known as BBVA Stadium. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with halftime analysis right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Broadcast is made possible by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View University athletics.
13-16 to go here in the top of the third quarter. 24-17 is our score in favor of the Tigers. If you're just now joining us, Andrew Body, the quarterback, able to hook up with number 5, Quay Davis, in the back of the end zone to take a lead here at the beginning of the third quarter. And we're going to see if the Panthers can have an answer here when they get the ball back to start their second drive here in the third quarter, Greg.
And honestly, I think it can be as simple as just upping their energy, having the same amount of energy they had coming into the game. When the game started, the Panthers looked like they were ready to play football. They were ready to get onto the field, ready to do a lot of things, be disruptive on defense. But now it kind of looks like they're just going through the motions, a whole lot of lackadaisical play. See the turnover by Conley, a very costly turnover as she's now down in the game. Really just want to see the Panthers get a sense of energy here.
They say that the game of football is all about momentum swing. Momentum swing for each squad, and we've seen a ton of that here in this ball game, which is why we said before that so far in that first half it was entertaining because you had different momentum swings. Just when it looked like the Panthers had the momentum, Texas Southern would snatch it right from them, and vice versa. When it looked like Texas Southern had the momentum, the Panthers would snatch it right from them. So a game of momentum swings, but so far here in this second half, we said at the beginning of the third quarter, a lot of time left. But if you notice, you look at the body language of the Panthers, and you look at the body language of Texas Southern. They're fired up. You can tell they got the momentum and they got the confidence on their side so far here in this ball game. As the teams are making their way onto the field, Tigers going to be kicking this one from right to left. Number 0, Brian Jenkins Jr.
And like you mentioned the body language, you can really tell that the Tigers feel like they have definitely sunk the energy out of the Panthers.
You can tell they're playing with the confidence. They're definitely playing with the confidence. Number 0, Brian Jenkins, is back to receive this one for the Panthers, and he's going to be accompanied by number 30, Benjamin Stewart. We got 13-16 to go here in the third quarter. A lot of football to be played. But the Tigers on top of this one by one score, 24-17 to be exact. And Stewart's going to field this at the 4-yard line. He's going to get past the 5, past the 10, past the 15. He's going to run to the left side. And he's just going to run into a wall of Tigers at the 20-yard line. And that is where he will be stopped in his tracks. And the Panthers will set up shop at their own 20-yard line, moving from left to right. As Trayvon Conley and company were trying to the field to see if they can answer here on this next drive. 2 turnovers in this ball game for Conley, 1 through the air and a fumble. And he's going to have 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. And this time he's going to hand off to the running back. It's going to be the transfer from Mississippi Valley, Caleb Johnson. Actually, no, check that. It's actually going to be the sophomore running back, Connor Wysham, and we were wondering we was going to see Connor get some action at running back in this ball game. As he takes that play, gains about 6 yards on the play, and another handoff to Wysham. This time, nothing doing. But he stays on his feet, one to the left side, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but not before getting the first down for the Panthers. It looked like he was stopped right at the line of scrimmage. He kept his legs moving. He bounced out to the left side, and with that, the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs. Ball's now plays at their own 31-yard line.
Don't really know how he was able to get out of all of that commotion, but he did.
I have no idea how he got out of there. As it appears that we have a slight stoppage in the play, as we have an official timeout on the field. The sophomore running back, Connor Wysham, getting some action here in the second half. And not to mention, you still have the transfer running back, Caleb Johnson, the transfer running back from Mississippi Valley to be exact. So if the Panthers, if you're Panther Nation and you're wondering what the Panthers are going to do at running back, the Panthers have plenty of options to choose from. They have the running back, they have Connor Wysham, the sophomore, who just had a huge pickup on that last play, 2 plays in a row, and they also have Mr. Caleb Johnson. So no need to panic if you're Panther Nation in terms of how the Panthers are going to do with the rushing attack.
Definitely the run game is still going to be okay. The run game is always going to be there. You're going to have some type of reduction to the run game. What you want to see is Conley continue to get better with his passing game and continue to be consistent throughout the game to get the Panthers back into this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we have a quick break in the action. We have an official timeout. We're going to keep it right here. If you're just now joining us, 24-17 is our score in favor of the Tigers. We have 12:22 to go here in the third quarter. Today's game is brought to you by the Prairie View Athletic Club, proudly serving student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817 and add to Mr. Greg Austin. Today's game is also brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995, the year I was born, 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. The number again is 713-417-2090. And you can listen live to the Temple of Refuge Ministries each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom one soul at a time. And we want to remind all of our listeners that September is our listening partnership drive, where we ask to help out with donations and support and contributions of our broadcast coverage throughout Walton County and beyond, that you can get exclusively right here at the Broadcast Network. Greg. fun of it. Some better, good popcorn. The finger-licking good popcorn. And who don't love popcorn?
Who doesn't love popcorn? Everybody loves popcorn.
Yes,
I love
sir.
popcorn.
Yes, sir. If you have been thrilled with the coverage and the content that we've been providing you here at Gilbert Broadcast Network, then help us out by purchasing some of that delicious popcorn by going to our website at obnradio.com. As the teams have made their way back onto the field, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 31-yard line. Another handoff to the running back to the right side. This time he was met by a plethora of Tigers. Nothing doing on that play. And that was number 2, Connor Wysham, on the carry for the Panthers, as he was met by number 5, Elinus Noel III, as he actually lost 2 yards on the play. So 3 runs in a row, all to Connor Wysham. That time, nothing doing. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12 for the Panthers. Ball plays now at their own 28-yard line. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. And Wysham's going to be offset to his left. A swing pass to Wysham. And that pass is going to be incomplete, in and out of his hands. And you can tell he was exhausted on that play. You can tell that it appears that Wysham wasn't even anticipating to catch the ball. And you can definitely tell he wasn't ready for it.
Offense definitely looks a little out of sync here. And it kind of goes back to my point about their energy, really.
Well, Trayshawn Conley has had 2 turnovers in this game so far. With Panther Nation, you just hope that those 2 turnovers hasn't gone to his head, essentially. As we have 3rd down coming running one to the left. And Trayshawn's going to keep it to himself. He runs to the right side. He's not going to have nothing doing. Brought down right at the 30-yard line. Only gains about a yard on the play. And with that, we have 4th down coming up. So there you have it. Situation. And the Tigers secondary was anticipating it. They had literally everything covered downfield. As the punting units have made their way onto the field, number 21, Xavier Lewis, back to receive this one for the Tigers. He's standing at the 24-yard line. As this punt is off, and he's going to take one bounce and field this one. And he's going to shed a few defenders past the 20, and he's finally going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. As it appears that Lewis looked like he was going to try to wave it off, but the bounce came right to him, so he decided to take it himself, shed a few defenders, and was able to take this one at the 25-yard line of the Tigers. So not a whole lot doing for the Panthers offensively on that last drive. We want to see if the defense can kind of tighten things up here. On this drive, the 25-yard line, moving from right to left. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Body. He's going to have 2 running backs in the backfield. And Body was going to hand this one off, but he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on that play. As he was met by number 11, Stephen Shaw Jr., 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tigers. A very important drive defensively for the Panthers, as the Tigers are going to have 2nd and 10, 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Body. Body, drop back the pass, looks right, throws right. He has a man. That pass is going to be incomplete, as Body was trying to hook up with the receiver downfield. Nice coverage in the secondary for the Panthers. Number 20, DeJohn Lewis, on the coverage for the Panthers on that last play. And a huge 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 10, ball at the 25-yard line. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Body. Body, back to pass. He's going to throw this one downfield on the left side of the field. He has a man. That pass is going to be he's going to be caught in traffic. Number 5, Craig Davis, and boy, is he having himself a ball game today.
Right along with his teammate, Andrew Body.
Body was able to hook up with Craig Davis for a huge reception downfield, a 1st down for the Tigers inside Panther territory now. Ball plays right at the 43-yard line. Play action fake. And Body's going to air this one. This time, nothing doing, as he was trying to hook up with number 1, Charles George. Pass incomplete. Second down coming up. And going back to that previous play, just the poise and the concentration that Quay Davis had on that reception. Again, that was caught in traffic. You had 2 defenders on the left side of the field, and he was able to stay focused and make that reception. Huge pickup through the air for the Tigers on that last play. 2nd and 10 coming up now as Bryce is the man in motion. That pass is caught on the left side of the field. He's going to be brought down out of bounds. He was able to hook up with Jaron Johnson. Solid pickup on that play. We will have 3rd down coming up. 3rd and about 3 to be exact. So if you've been following this game, you know the 3 guys that Body likes to hook up with. If it isn't Quay Davis, if it isn't A.J. Bennett, it's number 7, Jaron Johnson. As Body's going to have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. And Body is going to throw this one quickly to the left side, again downfield. Pass going to be incomplete, but we do have a flag on the play. And this one's going to be indicated as pass interference charge against the Panthers. Wow. Andrew Body was trying to hook up with Evan Means downfield. And we have a flag. More than likely, this will be pass interference charge against the Panthers as number 6, Ahmad Robinson, was the defender on that play for the Panthers. And it will be just that, pass interference charge against the Panthers. It appears that the coverage was tight on that play, but nonetheless, he didn't get his head turned around. And usually you kind of open yourself, you kind of become vulnerable if you're the defensive back. The ball's in the air if you can't get your head around quick enough.
He found himself, it looked like to me, kind of running a route for the receiver already.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first set of downs for the Tigers. Ball plays at the 20-yard line of the Panthers. Empty backfield for the Tigers. And the pass incomplete as he was trying to hook up with Quay Davis. Nothing doing on that play. 2nd and 10 coming up. 8:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers on top of this one, 24-17. As Body has been able to air things on this drive successfully, if you will. You can definitely see the confidence in this young man throwing the ball. You saw it in the first half, and you're definitely seeing it so far here in the second half, Greg.
And all it's done so far is just continue to build, honestly.
Yes, sir. Empty backfield for the Tigers. 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. Body, drop back the pass. He's been flushed out the pocket. He rolls to his right side, looking downfield. And he has no one, and he's going to throw this one in the back of the end zone. Pass incomplete. Solid coverage in the secondary for the Panthers. Number 20, DeJohn Lewis, was the DB in the area in the coverage for the Panthers on that last play. So another 3rd down coming up, another huge 3rd down to be exact. Something that the Panthers have been forcing so far here on this drive and even in this ball game. We'll see if the defense can get off the field on this play. So 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. Ball plays at the 20-yard line. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Body. Body back to pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be broken up. Incomplete. As number 1, Stacy Brown on the coverage for the Panthers. As Body was trying to hook up with Charles George. And with that, we have 4th down coming up. So a huge stop on 3rd down for the Panthers as the field goal unit comes out onto the field to try what appears to be about a 42-yard field goal attempt as the snap is down, kick is up, and it is good.
And if you're the Panthers here, 3 points is acceptable. You'll take 3 points opposed to another 7 when you're already down. But now it's just back to my point I've been making. This is pretty much since the second half started. The Panthers have to get some type of energy. Ultimately, the energy that they create will lead to execution here in the second half.
Well, that was a simple case of bending but not breaking if you're the Panthers defense. So hopefully we'll see if the offense can kind of sustain some momentum once the teams make their way back out into the field. But we got 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Tigers looking good so far here in the second half. They're on top of this one, 27-17. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action right here on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network.
Join us each and every Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, for a word of encouragement from the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Simply dial 857-777-0000. Building the kingdom, one soul at a time. Temple of Refuge Ministries, Prairie View, Texas.
Welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. Tigers looking strong so far here in the second half. On top of this one, 27-17. If you're just now joining us, we have 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Coming to you live from Shell Energy Stadium by way of downtown Houston, Texas. The 38th annual Labor Day Classic. It's been a fairly even game so far in the first half, if you will. Both teams were able to capitalize on turnovers caused by both squads. But so far here in the third quarter, the Tigers have been able to sustain majority of the momentum and majority of the confidence, if you will.
Right.
Tigers going to be kicking this one from right to left as Brian Jenkins back to receive this one for the Panthers. And he's going to field this one at the 5-yard line. He's going to get past the 10. He's going to run to the left side, past the 15, past the 20. He's going to try to turn the corner, but he's going to be knocked out of bounds right at the 25-yard line. So we'll see if the Panthers can sustain some momentum here on this next drive. Again, we saw the Panthers mix things up in the second quarter through the air and on the ground. Appears that they're trying to be just a little bit more conservative here in the third quarter as the Panthers go with the empty backfield setup. Conley, back to pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be caught near the first down marker. And we're going to see if they're going to give him forward progress. He looks like he may be just shy of the first down as number 1, Stacy Brown on the reception for the Panthers. Stacy Brown going both ways for the Panthers, if you will. And they're going to say he will have enough for a Panthers first down. Ball's now placed at the 35-yard line. This time, a read option right. Trace Conley is going to keep it himself, and he's going to fall down to the ground after gaining a solid yards for the Panthers. Gain of about 8 yards on the play. They went with a read option. Conley kept it himself. Picked up solid yards for the Panthers on that last play.
That's all you can ask for from this drive. Just continue to get positive yards and continue to move down the field.
Yes, sir. Ball's now placed at the 43-yard line of the Panthers. Panthers moving from left to right. 2nd and 8 coming up. Conley's going to have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. And the running back in the backfield is going to be Caleb Johnson. And Conley's going to air this one to the left side. And that pass is going to be caught on the far left side of the field. Stacy Brown on a huge reception for the Panthers. And with that, the Panthers have found themselves inside Tiger territory. Ball now plays inside the 40-yard line. The 38-yard line to be exact. Another read option to the right side. This time, nothing doing. Pass incomplete. Trying to hook up with Trajan Spiller on that play. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Panthers. So we see the success of the Panthers offense when they kind of mix things up through the air and on the ground, Greg.
Definitely see the progress in their offense and consistency in their offense when they mix it up.
6:30 to go here in the third quarter. 27-17 is our score in favor of the Tigers. The Panthers are trying to sustain some momentum here on this drive. 2 receivers on east side for Conley. Empty backfield setup. 2nd and 10. Conley back to pass. He has some time. Can't find a receiver downfield. He's going to flush out the pocket, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Number 11, Jacob Williams on the sack for the Tigers. As Trayvon Conley was looking for a man downfield. Excellent coverage in the secondary by the Tigers. As Williams was able to get to Conley before he was able to turn the corner, Greg.
Can't help but imagine that those turnovers might be getting to Conley's head here. He kind of looked like he had a couple of guys wide open.
But you're right, but he was like he didn't want to just let his arm go. Right. Well, huge 3rd down coming up, 3rd and long to be exact. That's going to back the Panthers up at the 44-yard line. This time they're going to hand this one off to the running back, and he's going to get to the 40. Nothing doing. And he's going to be brought down, only picking up a few yards on the play. Caleb Johnson, the running back, on the carry for the Panthers. And with that, we have 4th down coming up. So it's 4th and 12. Ball is spotted at the 39-yard line of the Tigers. But appears to be not enough room for the Panthers to attempt a field goal. So the punting unit is going to come out onto the field to punt this one off. Number 21, Shazavier Lewis back to receive this one for the Tigers. As this punt is off, and he's going to get right up underneath this one, but he will be brought down past the 20. And they're officially going to mark this one at the 24-yard line. So the Panthers were able to get a couple of first downs on that last drive, but a huge sack on 2nd down brought up a 3rd and long for the Panthers. Obvious passing situation, but they decide to just run it, play it safe, and punt this one off, and let your defense get back out onto the field to try to stop this Tigers offense yet again here in the 3rd quarter. Ball plays at the 24-yard line. A handoff to the running back. He's going to cut up the middle, and he has a burst of energy, and he's going to get past the 50, past the 40. It's a foot race. The 20, 10, 5, touchdown Tigers. Number 22, Ladarius Owens on the 80-yard touchdown run for the Tigers to extend their lead 33-17 here in the 3rd quarter. Wow.
Just poor execution there by the Tigers defense. Like I said earlier, pretty much this whole second half, you can see the Tigers definitely just keep on getting momentum taken away from them more and more and more, almost as each play goes on in this second half.
And you talk about a guy who just would not be denied on that play. Again, several Panthers had an opportunity to bring him down on that drive, but Ladarius Owens would not be denied. He shared that he broke about 2 or 3 tackles on that play, an 80-yard touchdown run. And the PAT is good, and with that, the Tigers extend their lead. First play of this drive, 80-yard touchdown run. Ladarius Owens found Pater. And with that, the Tigers have extended their lead 34-17 here in the 3rd quarter with 4:35 remaining. We'll take another break, and we'll come back with more Panther action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support has been the main focal point of the Panther Backers, bringing consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors. The Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. That number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. 34-17 is our score in favor of the Tigers. If you're just now joining us, we have 4:29 to go here in the third quarter. Kickoff return was fielded by number 38, Marquise Doucette, and he's going to get this one at the 5-yard line, and he's going to make it all the way to the 22-yard line before he stopped. We do have a flag on the play. As we're waiting to get the call, it appears that was holding charge against the receiving team, not what the doctors ordered. If you're Panther Nation, that's going to back them up even further to start this drive. Ball will officially be spotted at the 11-yard line. Panthers moving from left to right. Two receivers on east side for Conley. Hand off to the running back up the middle. He's going to break to the left side, and he's going to be brought down after picking up solid yards on that play. And that's going to be number 5, Ahmad Antoine, on the carry for the Panthers. So Ahmad Antoine getting some action here. After the last play, we saw him. He was injured, shaken up a bit. He appears to be okay. Another handoff to Ahmad Antoine. This time he's going to cut to the left side. He's going to shed one defender. And he's going to be hit hard out of bounds. Ball comes out, but he runs out of bounds right at the first down marker as the Tigers are laying the boom here in this ball game. And they're going to say he was short of the first down, so 3rd and about 1. Another handoff to Ahmad Antoine, lowers his shoulders up the middle, and he will have enough for a Panthers first down. And you can just see the momentum of the Tigers here in this ball game, Greg. You can just tell just the way that they're hitting on each play, no matter who has the ball, they are hitting with some authority here this second half.
Been a tale of two teams. One team lost confidence, and the other one gained it.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. A quick pass to the left side. Pass incomplete. Ahmad Antoine. Check that. Trayvon Conley was trying to hook up with Caleb Johnson on the swing pass out the backfield, in and out of his hands. Perhaps trying to look downfield before he secured the reception, Greg. The 2nd and 10 coming up for the Panthers. Ball now placed at their own 24-yard line. Panthers moving from left to right. Two receivers on each side. Empty backfield for Conley. Conley's going to air this one downfield. The pass is going to be caught near the first down marker. And with forward progress, that should give him enough for a Panthers first down. As he was able to hook up with Brian Jenkins on that reception. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Panthers going with a hurry-up offense. Another empty backfield setup. Two receivers on east side. Conley back to pass. He's been pressure. Steps up to the pocket. And he's going to shovel this one. Downfield, the pass is going to be caught near the first down marker. Another first down for the Panthers. So Trayvon Conley was in trouble, if you will. And as he was getting hit, he was able to shovel this one to the tight end, Mr. Dylan DeMel, for a 10-yard pickup and another first down for the Panthers.
Love Conley's play on this drive so far. Looks to show that he wants to add a little bit of energy spark here for his Panthers.
He's going to have to be. He's going to have to be. You are the leader. You're the quarterback. You're the redshirt senior. This is your second year. You're going to have to be the energy spark for the Panthers to try to turn things around here in this ball game. As the Panthers went with a run to Ahmad Antoine on first down, picks up about 4 yards on the play. As the Tigers were trying to do some substitution, wasn't able to get off the field in time, so they're going to have to burn a timeout. And we're going to take a timeout. And when the teams return, the Panthers are going to have 2nd and 6, ball placed inside the right side Tiger territory at the 48-yard line. But check that, we're going to keep it right here. We got 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. The Tigers are on top of this one, 34-17. But the Panthers, Greg, trying to sustain some momentum here on this drive.
Definitely putting together a couple of positive play drives, a couple of positive plays, to continue to just move, get positive yardage on these drives and continue to march closer towards the end zone.
You're down by 2 scores. Nothing to panic just yet. you have to move with some authority, but you don't have to rush, if that makes sense.
Right.
You got 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. If you can get a touchdown on this drive, you're within one score with a whole another quarter to play. Teams have made their way back onto the field as the Panthers went with a QB draw, but nothing doing. Tigers all over that one as Trayvon Conley was met right at the line of scrimmage for a gain of no yards. We're going to have 3rd down and 6 coming up. Ball placed at the 48-yard line of the Tigers. Panthers usually go with an empty backfield setup on 3rd down, and they're going to do just that. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. Conley, drop back to pass. Looks like throws up. He has a man on the far side of the field, and that pass is going to be caught. And he will have enough for Panthers 1st down.
Again, like what I'm seeing from Conley here, continue to just go through the motions and continuing to move the ball down the field.
Just stay poised and play your game if you're Trayvon Conley. And he's going to have another man downfield, and that pass will be caught for another Panthers 1st down. Dylan DeMille, the tight end on the reception. We got a flag on the play as the flag came right after Dylan DeMille was hit. As we're going to wait to get the call. Either way, it's going to be a 1st down for the Panthers. Well inside Tiger territory. And we want to see if this call will help the Panthers get some extra yardage, if you will. As the officials are huddled up to determine the call. So, unnecessary roughness charge against the Tigers. And the official play is on a further review to see if there's any targeting indicated on that last play, Greg.
Not sure how to feel too much about that call. The hit didn't look too overly aggressive or anything to me, but I guess we'll see.
Well, to your point, the way things have kind of changed in the world of football now, they're trying to, protect the ball carrier, as much as possible.
Right.
While we still now as viewers, we like to see the boom and the hard hitting. If it looks to be to the point where, it's a defenseless receiver or if it's unnecessary roughness, they're going to call it.
Right.
When in doubt, the way that the rules have kind of changed, if it looks like unnecessary roughness to the officials, 9 times out of 10, they're going to call it.
Right.
They're definitely going to call it.
Right.
And as I mentioned, they're also trying to see if there was any targeting on that last play. And, of course, if they indicate that there is targeting, the young man will be ejected from the game. He'll no longer be able to continue this ball game.
Right.
But either way, somewhat of a huge momentum swing, if you will, for the Panthers. Panthers trying to sustain some momentum on this drive. Trayvon Conley trying to get things done through the air here on this drive. And if you're Trayvon Conley, and more importantly, if you're the coaching staff, he's had 2 turnovers in this ball game, 1 through the air and then 1 on the ground, fumble, if you will. You can't let that get in your head. I mentioned it before. You can't let it get in your head. You're down 2 scores. You're going to have to let your arm go. So there's no call for targeting on that play. So positive signs if you're the Tigers. However, it will be 1st and goal due to the personal foul call. The personal foul, unnecessary roughness, still stands. So the Panthers will have this one well in Tiger territory. Ball placed at the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Conley. And Conley's barking at the line of scrimmage, perhaps changing the play. Caleb Johnson is going to be the running back to accompany Conley. He's going to be offset to his right. And a handoff to Caleb Johnson. He keeps his legs moving, and he breaks some tackles. Keeps his legs moving, tucking and tucking inside the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Love that run there, too. Kept his legs turning, wouldn't be denied, got into the end zone for a much-needed score for the Panthers.
So we mentioned the running back of the Tigers with Darius Owens on that last 80-yard touchdown run on the previous drive, him not being denied. Caleb Johnson not being denied on that play. I lost count, but I counted at least about 5 broken tackles on that play. At least 5 broken tackles. Just what the Panthers needed on that play. 34-23 is now our score. Still in favor of the Tigers. We do have the PAT to follow. There was an injured Tiger on that last play. The defensive end, number 9, Michael Atkins, the injured Tiger on that play. The young man that we mentioned in our pregame show. But he appears to be walking off on his own power, so that's positive signs if you're a Tiger Nation. As the snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So 34-24 is now our score in favor of the Tigers here, but the Panthers able to sustain some momentum on that drive. They was able to cap it off with an 11-yard touchdown run by Mr. Caleb Johnson with 1:03 remaining here in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Today's game is brought to you by the Panther Backers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. Scholarships and student support have been the main focal point of the Panther Backers, bringing consistent support from former athletes, dedicated alumni, and fellow donors. The Panther Backers have provided scholarship funds for several young men and women athletes at Prairie View University for the past 26 years. For more information on how to become a member, contact Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. The number again, 713-417-2090. You can also visit their website at www.pantherbackers.org. The Hill is where the heart is.
Welcome back to Panther Football on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. 54 seconds to go here in our third quarter. 34-24 is our score. Still in favor of the Tigers. The Panthers were able to answer on the last drive. 11-yard touchdown run by Mr. Caleb Johnson. And a huge kick return by the Tigers, and they're going to set up shop at their own 42-yard line. Excellent field position for Mr. Andrew Body, and he's going to take this one himself with a read option to the right side. He's going to be brought down after picking up 11 yards on the play. So first set of downs for the Tigers as they find themselves in Panther territory. Ball now placed at the 44-yard line. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Body looks left, goes left. He has Corey Davis. That pass is going to be complete, and he's going to run this out of bounds, but not before picking up another first down for the Tigers.
Great move there by Davis.
Nice spin move. Nice spin move. And we'll have some post-game stats. I am interested to see how many yards this young man ends up with before this game is over with.
Great game so far.
He's having an excellent game so far. We talked about number 8, Derek Morton, in our pregame show for the Tigers in terms of being the weapon for the Tigers in the receiving core. But number 5, Quay Davis, has had a tremendous game so far here in this ball game for the Tigers.
Sometimes that's what it takes, somebody who you don't expect to step up for you to step up. That's what it takes to win a game sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we have a quick break in the action. There's a timeout on the field, a timeout charged against the Tigers. Now, check that. that last play actually took us to the end of the third quarter. And when the teams return and flip sides, the Tigers will have a fresh set of downs, leading this one by the score of 34-24. And while we have a quick break in the action, we want to remind all of our listeners that following the conclusion of this game, you can join us live for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show featuring yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, who will break down the X's and O's of today's game, the good, the bad, and the ugly of today's game. And you can listen live by dialing 857-777-0000. The number again is 857-777-0000. And we also want to let all of our listeners know that you can join us live for our next broadcast coverage next week, Saturday, September 9th, as the Panthers will have their first home game of the season taking on Abilene Christian. Kickoff for that game is scheduled for 6 p.m., so we'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 5:30 p.m. And again, it's only on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. To remind all of our listeners that September is our listening partnership drive where we ask you to help out with donations and support and contributions of our broadcast coverage. It's our popcorn drive, Greg. Our popcorn fundraiser started September 1st and it ends September 4th at 12 p.m. noon. Head on down to the website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com. Click on the pop-up tent link. Make your purchase today. The finger-licking good popcorn, and as we said throughout this broadcast, who doesn't love popcorn, Greg?
Who doesn't love popcorn? We all love
Yes, sir.
love popcorn.
Yes, sir. We all love popcorn, but more importantly, we want to let you know that any donation that you're able to provide us will help us as we continue to travel the country and bring you live and delayed sports coverage here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And we also want to let our listeners know that they can listen to the Mike Prince Show daily by subscribing to our YouTube channel at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. The Mike Prince Show covering the world of HBU sports and beyond. And again, it's only on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Teams haven't made their way back out to the field yet, but we have one more quarter, Greg. One more quarter to determine the outcome of this ball game. Kind of a chess match, if you will, in the first half between both teams. The Tigers kind of took control majority of the third quarter. The Panthers able to sustain somewhat of some momentum. Late in the third quarter, we have one more quarter to determine the outcome of this ball game.
And if you're a Panthers fan, you got to love what you saw from them at the end of that third quarter, just showing any type of life getting back on the board.
Yes, sir. Teams that switch side, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball placed at the 44-yard line. A handoff to the running back. He bounces to the left side, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds. Only gained about 2 yards on the play. The Darius Owens on the carry for the Tigers. And looks like we have some shoving on the Panthers sideline. I saw some yellow laundry go up in the air, Greg. Could be late here out of bounds. It looks like he was already going out of bounds, but yet he still kind of got dragged down to the ground, if you will. I did see some yellow laundry. Could be a personal foul charge against the Panthers.
Could be.
And when you're talking about a game of this magnitude, a game that could potentially go down to the wire, costly penalties could definitely play a huge factor in this ball game.
Especially late. We've already seen how some turnovers early in this game have cost each team. One team being down so far, you could definitely tell that the turnovers in this game are definitely going to be costly.
So exactly what we indicated, personal foul charge against the Panthers, late hit out of bounds. Oh, check that. This is actually going to be charged against Texas Southern. Wow. So a late hit out of bounds, personal foul charge against Texas Southern. So the ball is now placed right at midfield at the 47-yard line to be exact. Still first down for the Tigers, but 1st and 20. As they have to get to the 24-yard line of the Panthers for a first down. Wow. Could be a huge momentum swing, Greg. Wow. As we still have some slight stoppage. As it appears that they may be trying to reset the game clock. Check that. The Tigers will lose a down. It's going to be second down for the Tigers, 2nd and 20. Ball plays at the 47-yard line of the Panthers. A handoff to the running back. He's going to stiff arm, lowers his shoulders, get past the 40. He's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line. So number 23, Ja'Cory Howard, able to get a nice chunk of those yards back, but we do have third down coming up for the Tigers. 3rd and 13 to be exact. Ball plays at the 37-yard line. Tigers have to get to the 24-yard line of the Panthers for a first down. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Body. Corey is going to be offset to his right. And the pass is going to be intercepted by the Panthers. Past the 50, past the 40. And he's going to be knocked down out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Ha ha. Number 47, Xavier Farrell on the interception for the Panthers.
And there on that screen pass from the Tigers, the Panthers were all over that one. Ready for that one. That was a gimme.
That looks like a Madden play, if you will.
Looks like
the screen play was set up. Darius Farrell sniffed it out right just in the nick of time. He was able to intercept this one, take it past midfield, past the 40, and with that, the Panthers are going to have a fresh set of downs to start this one at the 36-yard line of the Tigers, moving from right to left.
Huge momentum switch here for the
Yes, sir. This time a handoff to Ahmad Antoine up the left side. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. 13:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Plenty of time. Still a 2-possession ball game as the Panthers are trailing 10, 34-24 to be exact. But plenty of time to go. A huge momentum swing, and we'll see if the Panthers offense can capitalize on that interception by Mr. Xavier Farrell, excuse me. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left for Conley. Another handoff to Ahmad Antoine. This time he's going to break a few tackles past the 30. He's going to be brought down just about the 29-yard line. Solid pickup on that play as they're going to have 3rd and manageable, 3rd and about 3, as this is going to be fumbled. The ball was fumbled, and Conley was able to get on it just in time. There's communication between the snapper, the center, and Conley, but Conley was able to fall on it. They're going to lose it down on that play with that 4th down coming up. Wow.
And you don't want to panic too much as there is a lot of time left, but you kind of did want to get some type of anything on the board on that position. Just coming off of a turnover.
Well, we was kind of hoping that the Panthers would mix it up a little bit. We have a timeout on the play, timeout charge against the Panthers. We'll keep it right here. We were kind of hoping that the Panthers would mix it up on that drive. They went with a handoff on 1st and 2nd down to Ahmad Antoine. He picked up some positive yards, but they found themselves in a manageable 3rd down. It was 3rd and 4, but perhaps miscommunication between the center and Trayvon Conley on that 3rd down play.
Some type of miscommunication, most definitely. And you do kind of want to see them mix it up a little bit here.
Well, it appears that before the Panthers called a timeout, the field goal unit was going to come out onto the field to try what may be about a 48-yard field goal attempt. And we'll see if they'll do that when the teams return. And while we have a break in the action, some scores around the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Grambling fell short to Hampton by the score of 35-31. Mississippi Valley fell short against Central State by the score of 24-21. Alabama State was victorious in their game against Southern by the score of 14-10. Alabama A&M fell short to Vanderbilt by the score of 47-36. 38-13. Bethune-Cookman fell short to Memphis by the score of 56-14. And Alcorn State not able to get things done against Southern Mississippi. They fell short by the score of 40-14. 34-24 is our score here in this ball game, the 38th annual Labor Day Classic featuring the Tigers of Texas Southern University and the Panthers of Prairie View A&M University. We have 12:33 to go here in the fourth quarter, coming at you live from Shell Energy Stadium. We're in the heart of Houston, Texas, Greg. And we want to remind all of our listeners that you can join us for our next broadcast coverage next week as the Panthers will return home for their first home game of the season against Abilene University. Kickoff for that game is scheduled for 6 p.m. We'll be coming at you with our pregame show at 5:30 p.m. right here on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. So the offense will come back on the field to try this fourth down. Fourth and about 5. As the Panthers are going to go with an empty backfield setup. Conley, drop back the pass. He rolls to his right side. And he's going to have no one downfield. He's going to be brought down for a sack. As Trayvon Conley was trying to make things happen downfield, but he had plenty of room on the right side. If he would have just tucked it, he would have had enough for a first down, Greg.
Definitely wanted to see him just took it there. But he also looked to have a man wide open right in front of him as well. Kind of man just got there right on time for the sack. He didn't have too much time to make that decision, but you got to have those split decisions, especially in crunch time.
I definitely understand that you're trying to make a play on that play if it wasn't fourth down.
Right.
Secure the first down, and let's keep the drive open. But nonetheless, after that last sack, a turnover on down, so the Tigers will have this one. A first set of downs, moving from left to right at their own 36-yard line. Two receivers on each side for Andrew Body. And Body will hand this one out to Howard up the middle. Nothing doing on that play. Going to bring up 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. And as we mentioned before, Greg, still haven't heard much of anything from number 9, Keyshawn Johnson, defensively for the Panthers. We'll see if he can come alive for the Panthers defensively to try to get the ball back to the offense here in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Tigers. 11:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Two receivers on each side for Body. As Howard's going to be offset to his right. Body back to pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be intercepted by the Panthers. Yes, sir.
Great play there by the Panthers secondary, coming up big here in this fourth quarter. Overthrown by Body, one of his few mistakes in this game.
Travis Pearson will be credited for the interception on that play for the Panthers. And yes, to your point, it appears that the man that he was looking for wasn't even in the area in which Pearson was on that last play.
Right. Now you just hope that the Panthers can take one of these turnovers that TSU keeps giving them.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully get some more momentum on their side.
Either way, one thing we can say, the defense has came alive here in the fourth quarter to give this offense an opportunity. 2 interceptions in a row. Panthers weren't able to capitalize on the last drive. We'll see if they can do it here on this drive. A handoff up the middle. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Caleb Johnson on the carry for the Panthers. Nothing doing. They're going to say he gained 1 yard on the play. 2nd and 9 coming up. As the ball is spotted at the 33-yard line. Panthers moving from right to left. We'll see if the Panthers are able to open up the playbook here in the fourth quarter to try to spread this defense out. Two receivers on each side for Conley. Conley back to pass, and he's going to swing this one to Caleb Johnson on the right side. Nothing doing as he was met right at the line of scrimmage. Conley didn't have anything downfield, so he checked it down to Caleb Johnson, but he was met right at the line of scrimmage for a gain of no yards on the play.
And we highlight the Panthers' defense in today's game, really giving the offense a lot of opportunities. But the Tigers' defense has played very good football this game as well.
They're not giving the Panthers anything. They're not giving them anything, Greg. The Panthers are going to have to earn each and every first down on this drive. 3rd down coming up. And Trayvon is going to have a wide open check that Jaquan Bloomfield on a huge reception for the Panthers. He had a touchdown in that first half. And Trayvon Collins was able to hook up with him yet again downfield. He was wide open. May have been some miscommunication in the secondary for the Tigers because he was wide open. He spent off one defender. And the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs inside Tigers territory. Ball officially is going to be spotted at the 28-yard line. As it appears that we have an injured Tiger on the field, so it's going to be an injury timeout. And when the teams return, the Panthers will have a fresh set of downs with 10:10 to go here in the fourth quarter as they find themselves trailing by the score of 34-24, Greg. And while we have a quick break in the action, we want to thank our sponsors and supporters for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, proudly serving student athletes since 1986. For more information on how to become a member, dial 936-857-5817. That number again is 936-857-5817 and ask for Mr. Greg Austin. The Pantherbackers, proudly serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Mr. Dino Robertson at 713-417-2090. That number again is 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries that you can listen live to each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-0000. The number again is 857-777-0000. The Temple of Refuge Ministries, building the kingdom one soul at a time. And if you would like to become a listening partner today, you can do so by visiting our website at obnradio.com. Again, that's obnradio.com, and make your secure purchases, secure donation today. And your donation will help us to continue bring live sports action featuring our local student athletes right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. And as we mentioned, Greg, before, we have multiple ways for you as a listener to send in your donation. We have our website, obnradio.com. We're on Cash App at $OBNradio.com. However, there is also another way for you to secure your donation. And if you are what I like to call old school, if you don't believe in this technology, if you don't believe in websites, if you don't believe in Cash Apps, we have another way for you to send in your donation. We have a P.O. Box. You can send in your donation by way of mail. If you would like to send your support for our broadcast through mail, you can simply do so through our P.O. Box at P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas, 77446. Again, it's P.O. Box 891, Prairie View, Texas, 77446. So essentially, there's no excuse. There is no excuses. We have plenty of options for you to send your donations and your support of our broadcast coverage throughout Waller County and beyond. As the teams have made their way back out onto the field, first set it down for the Panthers. Collins is going to air this again downfield, and the pass is going to be incomplete on the far side of the field as he was trying to hook up with Brian Jenkins Jr., and we're going to have 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Panthers definitely not afraid to air it here on this drive, Greg.
A little sense of urgency here late in this fourth quarter. They understand what time of the game this is. It's sprint time. It's time to get some points on the board.
Well, it's a two-possession ball game. You got 10 minutes, but it is still a two-possession ball game. So you're going to have to move with some urgency if you're the Panthers. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Conley back to pass. He's looking, he has a man downfield. Pass is going to be incomplete. Nothing doing. Solid coverage on that play by the Tigers as he was trying to hook up with Brian Jenkins. Yet again, wasn't able to locate him. And with that, we're going to have 3rd down coming up. Panthers are definitely trying to move with a sense of urgency here on this drive. 2 incomplete passes in a row by Trayvon Conley. We'll see what the Panthers are able to shake up here. Fix up on this 3rd down. Ball is placed at the 28-yard line of the Tigers. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. Empty backfield for the Panthers. Panthers moving from right to left. Thompson, back to pass, step up to the pocket. And he's still looking, rolls to his right side. He has a man on the far side of the field. Pass is going to be caught, but he's not going to have enough for the first down. As he was able to hook up with Christopher Simmons on the far right side of the field, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down. And with that, the field goal unit will come out to the field, Greg.
Definitely looking to get some points up on the board here if you're the Panthers. A good 3 points should do it. Kind of don't want to think back to some old possessions, but that 3 points from the previous drive definitely would have been ideal here.
So about a 38-yard field goal attempt for the Panthers. As the snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So number 48, Ephraim Jason, on a 38-yard field goal attempt for the Panthers, was a success. And with that, the Panthers have inched their way closer here in this ball game. Our score now 34-27 with 9:17 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action right here at the Yoba Mike Broadcast Network.
People often ask us, when will we develop an app? And I've been telling them all the time, we already have an app right at your fingertip. That app is 857-777-0000. Save this number on your favorites, put it on your speed dial, and every time there's a live broadcast, dial that number, 857-777-0000. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic. We're coming at you live from Shell Energy Stadium. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson, as the Tigers will have a fresh set of downs here midway through the fourth quarter. Ball's placed at the 20-yard line. They're going to be moving from left to right, as Body's going to have two receivers on each side. And a read option, Body's going to keep it to the right side, and he's going to be met by several Panthers, including, there he is, the linebacker, Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, he finally made the play, and it was a crucial one here at the end of this quarter.
I was about to put out an APB out for Mr. Keyshawn Johnson. I have not called his name all game long, which is very unlikely, but he comes through for a nice stop for the Panthers defensively on that last play. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Tigers.
Right on time, right on time.
Just with the doctor's order. We have 8:35 and counting to go here in the fourth quarter. One possession ball game, 34-27 is our score in favor of the Tigers. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Body. A handoff to the running back to the right side, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds. We have a flag on the play.
Looks like a holding against the Tigers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should be holding. Charge against the Tigers, which should back them up 10 yards. So a holding charge against the Tigers will back them up 10 yards. They're going to repeat 2nd down, but it's going to be 2nd and long for the Tigers, Greg, as the ball is going to be placed at their own 11-yard line, as they have to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. Tigers going to go with an empty backfield setup. Andrew Body sends a man in motion. He'll now have 2 receivers to his right and 2 to the left. As we have another flag on the play. Maybe too many men on the field. as we'll wait to get the call. As there was a Tiger. So there was a timeout on the play before the flag, as it appears that they was trying to do some substitution, the Tigers that is, trying to do some substitutions, but some miscommunication offensively for the Tigers, so they were able to they were forced to burn a timeout, if you will. And with that, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with more action right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Hey, Panther fans, don't forget, following the conclusion of this game, you can join us for the 1876 After Party Post-Game Show. And you can do so by going to the website at obnradio.com. 15 minutes following the conclusion of our broadcast coverage, yours truly, Dr. Mike Prince, will break down the X's and O's and give us his overall assessment of today's game. So tell a friend to tell another friend to tell that friend to head on down to the 1876 post-game after party. And you can do so right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. We're taking a break in our broadcast coverage of Panther football right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We want to remind all of our listeners that you can become a part of our broadcast coverage right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. To become a listening partner, all you have to do is visit our website at obnradio.com. If you've been thrilled with our broadcast coverage and all the exciting things we have coming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, your simple donations of just 17 cents a day will help support our programming here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We've been serving the community through faith in athletics since 2002, the voice of student athletics. The station designed with you in mind, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
It's been a game of momentum swings here at the 38th Annual Labor Day Classic as we welcome you back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. Teams have made their way back onto the field. Going to be second and long for the Tigers. Ball placed at their own 11-yard line. Empty backfield for Andrew Body. He's going to have 2 receivers to his left and 2 to the right. As Body is going to drop back the pass, he's been pressure. He has a man. The pass going to be caught past the 20, past the 25, past the 30, and he's going to be brought down right at the first down marker. It appears that he should have enough for a Tigers first down, and he will. And that was number 8, Derek Morton, a name in which we haven't really called much in that receiving corps for the Tigers here in this ball game, but he gets a huge reception for the Tigers on that last drive, a fresh set of downs for Andrew Body. As he's going to go with the QB draw up the middle, gain about 6 yards on that play. So we see the Tigers here going with the hurry-up offense, trying to get some of that momentum that the Panthers have taken defensively 2 drives in a row by way of interceptions, trying to take some of that momentum back and keep it on their side, if you will, Greg.
I really like the drive so far here from the Tigers, keeping the clock moving, getting the incompletion and the run play for some positive yards. But if you're the Panthers, you got it. Your defense has to come up big here. Still a lot of time left for your offense to get some points on the board, so you need the defense to get the ball back to the offense.
Second and 4 for the Tigers. Ball plays at the 35-yard line. Handoff up the middle. He's going to have enough for another Tigers first down. Number 23, Ja'Cory Howard on the carry for the Tigers. So another fresh set of downs for the Tigers. They're going to keep the momentum going. Ball now plays at their own 44-yard line, moving from left to right. 2 receivers on each side to Body. And Howard's going to be offset to his right. We have 6:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. A handoff to Howard. This time not a whole lot doing. He was brought down only after a gain of about a yard on the play. Number 47, David Farrell on the stop for the Panthers. But check that. They're going to say he gained 4 yards on the play. Or check that, 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. 2 receivers on each side for Body. Another handoff. And he's going to shed a defender in the backfield, but he's still going to be brought down after losing those 3 yards on that play. Several Panthers in the backfield on that stop. And number 20, the John Lewis, on that huge stop for the Panthers defensively.
And the Panthers defense is swarming here, and they're trying to get the ball back to the defense with 5 minutes left on the clock.
Huge 3rd down coming up for both teams. Panthers trying to get off the field here on this 3rd down as we have some movement on the front line. It's going to be false start against the Tigers. So definitely what the doctor ordered if you're the Panthers. As that's going to back the Tigers up 5 more yards. And they're going to try this 3rd down again. Ball now at their own 39-yard line. As they have to get it to the 46-yard line of the Panthers for a 1st down. Body. Back to pass. Looks up, throws left. That pass is going to be incomplete. As he was trying to hook up with his favorite target so far here in this ball game, number 5, Corey Davis, on the far side of the field. Nothing doing, and with that, 1st down coming up.
Pass was a little high there for Davis. He might have been a little bit open, but the ball wasn't on the money like Body has been all game, honestly.
And you can tell with that pass that Body was more so trying to keep it out the hands of the Panthers. He's thrown 2 interceptions on the last 2 drives. So he was more so trying to avoid a turnover, if you will.
Definitely rather get him the ball than give it to him by turnover.
Yes, sir. So the punting unit is on the field. Number 38 for the Panthers, Marquise Doucette, back to receive this one, and he's just going to fair catch this one at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. And we have 4:41 to go here. Check that, 4:37 to go here in the 4th quarter. 1 possession ball game, 34-27 is our score in favor of the Tigers. And if you're the Panthers and if you're Trayvon Conley, this is the drive where you get it done. So they're going to reset the game clock to 4:45, which is what it was originally showing, and it went to 4:37. So they're going to reset the game clock to 4:45 here in the 4th quarter.
And if you're Trayvon Conley on this drive, just take a deep breath. A lot of time left, no need to rush. Just continue to move the ball down the field.
Yes, sir. They're going to go with a handoff to Ahmad Antoine on the right side. He gets some positive yards. Still has his feet moving. And the whistle finally blows. And Ahmad Antoine was able to pick up some nice positive yards on that run. Picks up about 8 yards to be exact. So 2nd and 8 coming up for the Panthers. Ball now placed at their own 33-yard line, moving from right to left. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. A read option. This time Conley looks for a man on the near side of the field. Pass is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Brian Jenkins. Nothing doing. So 3rd down coming up, but 3rd and quite manageable for the Panthers. 3rd and 2. Don't need to do anything fancy if you're the Panthers. Get the 1st down. Keep the drive moving. 2 receivers on each side for Conley. This time Caleb Johnson, the running back in the backfield for the Panthers. I'll check that. That would be Connor Washam. Back in the backfield to accompany Conley. He's going to be offset to his left. 3rd and 2. This time he's going to hand out to Conley. Conley's going to turn the corner on the right side. Spins out one defender, and he's finally going to be brought down past the 40. He will have enough for a Panthers 1st down.
Like you said before, nothing too fancy. Just get the 1st down and keep the ball moving.
Connor Wysham, the speedy back of the bunch, if you will. You have Ahmad Antoine, who's more so your complete all-around back, if you will. But Connor Weisham, your speedy and elusive back for the Panthers, picks up a first down on that play. As Conley is going to air this one, that pass is going to be complete for a short gain, but a positive gain nonetheless. To number 18, Christopher Simmons. About a 5-yard reception on that play. Clock does continue to run. We have 3:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. 34-27 is our score in favor of the Tigers. Panthers on the move. 2nd and 5. 2 receivers on east side for Conley. Conley back to pass. He has time. He's looking for a man downfield, and the pass will be caught past the first down marker for the Panthers. Number 18, Christopher Simmons on that reception for the Panthers.
You can't help but love the drive here by Conley so far. Staying poised in the pocket, looking for his man. Not doing too much, not doing nothing less. Just keeping the ball moving, using your run game, and continuing to move the ball down the field.
Panthers are now inside Tiger territory. Ball now placed right at the 46-yard line. This time a handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He's breaking tackles left and right. Another solid gain on that play. About a 7-yard gain to be exact. And Ahmad Antoine is running with some authority here on these last 2 drives. Will not be denied on that play as the clock does continue to run as we have 2nd down coming up for the Panthers. 1:58 to go here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers on east side for Conley. The handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He busts to the left side, past the 35, and he's going to be brought down after gaining another first down for the Panthers. Positive yards, positive movement, and first downs for the Panthers here on this drive, Greg.
The clock continues to move. The Panthers are driving.
Yes, sir. 2 receivers on east side for Conley. 1st and 10. Conley back to pass. He looks at those up. He has a man that passes incomplete in and out of his arms. Ahmad Antoine, the intended receiver on the play. As Ahmad Antoine ran an out route from the backfield, Conley couldn't find anything downfield, so he checked it down to Ahmad Antoine. He wasn't able to haul that one in. That does stop the clock with 1:31 to go here in the fourth quarter. And this essentially could be the drive of the century if you're Panther Nation. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Ball plays at the 33-yard line. 2 receivers on east side. Conley back to pass. He steps to the pocket. He has time. Rolls to his right side. He's looking for a man downfield. He's just going to air this one in the back of the end zone. Incomplete pass. As Conley was trying to hook up with number 1, Stacy Brown. And with that, we have 3rd down. And this is obviously 4th down territory. If you're the Panthers, down by 1 score. You have 1:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 10. No need to do anything fancy. You can tell that the Tigers are coming in with somewhat of that prevent defense, if you will. They have about 5 DBs on the field right now. 3 safeties, 2 corners. 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. And he's going to throw this one near side of the field. The pass will be caught. He won't have enough for a first down. Brian Jenkins on the reception for the Panthers. So 4th down comes up. He does go out of bounds, so they will stop the clock at 1:16. So 4th and manageable, if you will. 4th and 5.
I love that pass by Conley, getting some positive yards, also giving them a chance on 4th down, making this a 4th and manageable.
Panthers do have 2 timeouts, but we do have 4th down coming up. Conley, drop back to pass. He's looking for a man, and that pass will be caught inside the 20-yard line. Brought down right at the 15-yard line. Number 10, Trajan Stiller on the reception for the Panthers, and the first set of downs for the Panthers.
And Conley has looked very, very poised on this drive, continuing to move the Panthers down the field. Now let's see if he can get into the end zone here.
57 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers on each side. Empty backfield. Conley, back to pass. Touchdown, Panthers! Trajan Stiller on the touchdown reception for the Panthers.
Great pass there by Conley. Great drive as well.
Yes, sir. 34-33 is now our score. We have 49 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter with the PAT to follow. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. And with that, we are all tied here from Shell Energy Stadium, 34-34, 49 seconds to go. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Panther action right here on the Yellow Mike Broadcast Network.
People often ask us, when will we develop an app? And I've been telling them all the time, we already have an app right at your fingertip. That app is 857-777-0000. Save this number on your favorites, put it on your speed dial, and every time there's a live broadcast, dial that number, 857-777-0000. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Upper Night Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
Trajan Conley coming alive for the Panthers on that last drive. Was able to hook up with Trajan Spiller for the 12-yard touchdown reception. And with that, we are all tied by the score 34-34. 49 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, Greg. As the teams have made their way onto the field, the Panthers are ready to kick this one off, kicking from right to left. And Chazarius Lewis will fill this at the 5-yard line, and he's going to be met at the 16-yard line. Great pursuit by the kickoff team for the Panthers, as Andrew Body and company will have 45 seconds to drive nearly the length of the football field. Otherwise, we may be looking at some overtime here in this ball game, Greg.
Definitely look like it's going to be some overtime tonight.
So ball's officially going to be spotted at the 17-yard line. Tigers going to be moving from right to left. 45 seconds to go. Tigers have one timeout remaining here in the second half. Will they put it in the hands of Andrew Body to get it done, or will they just be conservative and go into overtime in this ball game? Remains to be seen. Just sweep to the right side, and he's going to be met by a plethora of Panthers. Not a whole lot going on that play. Picks up some positive yards, about 3 yards to be exact. And the clock is going to continue to run. More than likely, it's like they're going to try to just be conservative here, as we have about 20 seconds to go here on the game clock. So, Body is going to have 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. We have a stoppage in the play as they're going to let this one just wind down. As we're showing now 5 seconds on the game clock. But there's been a pause. So it appears that the helmet of one of the Panthers came off on that previous play. So he'll have to take a break. So it appears to be what the stoppage was all about. But nonetheless, they're going to let the clock wind down as we're showing 0-0 on the game clock. And with that, we are headed to overtime here from Shell Energy Stadium. It's the 38th annual Labor Day Classic, 34-34. Here's our score. We are headed into overtime. Keep it where you got it. Do not go anywhere. Don't touch that dial, as we have more football coming to you from the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, Greg. It has been an amazing ball game between both squads. As I mentioned before, whether you're here in person or whether you're listening, you can honestly say that that the fans have gotten their money's worth so far here in this ball game, Greg.
Definitely been a great game so far, and what better way to end a great game than overtime?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So while we have a quick break in the action, so the captains should do another coin toss to see who'll get the ball first. Both teams will have an option to score unless the team that gets the ball first scores, and at that point it'll be ball game. And each team will start at the 25-yard line of the opposing team. As we're waiting for the teams to come back out to the field, we're going to keep it right here as there's been so much action here in this ball game. And we have to thank our listeners and sponsors for making today's broadcast possible. The Prairie View Athletic Club, proudly serving student athletes since 1986. And for more information on how to become a member, you can dial 936-857-5817 and ask for Mr. Greg Robinson, the Panther Backers, serving student athletes since 1995. For more information on how to become a member, contact Mr. Dino Robinson at 713-417-2090. And the Temple of Refuge Ministries. Listen live each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time by dialing 857-777-000. 857-777-0000. That number again is 857-0000. So the captains were able to do the coin toss. It appears that Prairie View won the coin toss and have elected to receive. One touchdown ends it all, sir.
Definitely want to see what Conley is made of on this drive. He entered the fourth quarter real strong. Let's see if he can carry that momentum over into the overtime period.
Can he carry the momentum over for the Panthers and end this once and for all? But either way, we can honestly say that both quarterbacks from these teams have put on the show here in this ball game.
And putting on the show probably would be an understatement. This
Yes,
has been
sir.
a great game.
Yes, sir. Well, check that. The Tigers actually won the coin toss, and they're going to have their first possession. Moving from left to right, ball placed at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right for Body. Body drop back the pass. He's been flushed out the pocket. He rolls to his left side, and he's going to have to safely throw this one out of bounds. As Body was pressured by the transfer from Villanova, number 99, Calvin Presley, the defensive end for the Panthers. And with that, we have 2nd and 10 coming up. Ball is placed at the 25-yard line. Body's going to have 3 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. As he looks to the sideline to get the call, he's going to be accompanied by Ladarius Owens. Owens going to be offset to his right. Body. Back to pass. He has a man. That pass is going to be in and out of his hands. Incomplete. As he was trying to hook up with Derek Morton on that play. Wasn't able to haul that one in.
That one looked to just hit him in the face there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Body put some heat on that last throw. And Morton wasn't able to hold that one in. And with that, we have 3rd down coming up. Crowd has come alive here from Shell Energy Stadium. As Andrew Body is looking on the sideline to get the call. As they have 7 seconds on the play clock. Going to have to get this one off. And it's going to be a timeout charge against the Tigers. And they're going to try to talk things over. That play clock was winding down, Greg. was definitely running out of time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll take a quick break and come back with more Panther action here in overtime from Shell Energy Stadium. Listening live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Prospered by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. prairieviewathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University Athletics.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. 3rd and 10 for the Tigers. As Body is going to throw this one, the pass is going to be incomplete. Wasn't able to haul that one in. He's trying to hook up with A.J. Bennett. Nothing doing on that play, and with that, we have 4th down coming up. So the field goal unit comes out to the field for the Tigers to attempt what should be about a 42-yard field goal attempt. As the snap is down, kick is up, and that will be no good. Wasn't able to get enough leg underneath that one, and with that, a turnover on downs, and the Panthers have an opportunity to put this one away.
Panthers are definitely looking bright right now. The field goal attempt is so good by the Tigers.
We definitely have to give a shout-out to the defense of the Panthers here, not only in the second half, but also on that drive, just coming along for the Panthers, giving the offense any and every opportunity that they can to be successful.
Right, and in the sport of football, nobody is perfect, and this defense has definitely had its mishaps and miscommunications in this game.
Yes, sir.
But for the most part, when you called on them, they're being right on time.
Yes, sir. So essentially, the teams are just going to switch sides. So the Panthers now going to have an opportunity at the 25-yard line, moving from left to right. Collins going to have 2 receivers on each side. Ahmad Antoine is going to be offset to his right. And he's going to hand out to Ahmad Antoine. He has a hole at the left side. Breaks a few tackles, and he will be brought down near the 1st down marker. And it appears that he will have enough for the Panthers' 1st down. Ahmad Antoine with a burst of energy on that run for the Panthers. As the Panthers are knocking on the door here in overtime. As we have a stoppage on the play, looks like an injured Panther on the ground on the far side of the field. Can't quite make out the jersey number just yet. Hopefully the young man is okay. We'll keep it right here. And we'll talk about momentum swings, Greg, and how it can make and break a football game. You have to be pleased if you're Panther Nation with not only the way that the Panthers have played so far here in this ball game, but more importantly, how your quarterback, Trayvon Conley, has put the team on his back and essentially let everybody know why he feels like he should be the man for this 2023 campaign.
And as you mentioned earlier, the Prairie View Panthers have had trouble in the past with second half gameplay. And in this game, you really just liked at the start of the season they can show a little resiliency and be able to continue and be able to get some momentum after losing momentum and get back into this game with a chance to win this game in overtime.
The teams that made their way back onto the field, as the official was making an announcement, wasn't quite able to make out what the announcement was. But the ball is spotted at the 16-yard line. A handoff to Ahmad Antoine at the middle. He was met right at the line of scrimmage. And they were saying on the previous play that he didn't have enough for a 1st down. So it was 2nd and 2 on that last play. Ahmad Antoine met right at the line of scrimmage, nothing doing. So now 3rd down coming up for the Panthers. 3rd and 1 to be exact. And if you're the Panthers, do you go with a run to get the 1st down, or do you try to fix some things up on the, through the air?
You definitely want to try to keep it safe, but at the end of the day, you want to go in the air here, try to end it all, even if you don't, just get an incompletion.
Ahmad Antoine's going to be offset to Conley's left. A handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He was met right at the 1st down marker, depending on where they spot this one. As he kept his legs moving. And they're saying that he will have enough for Panthers' 1st down. Ball down placed right at the 15-yard line. One score, whether touchdown or field goal, will end this ball game for the Panthers. A lot of fireworks here in this 38th annual Labor Day Classic. 34-34 is our score here in overtime. The Tigers got first possession, wasn't able to capitalize, missed the field goal, and the Panthers are trying to end this one as we speak. A handoff of the middle to the running back on the gain of about 2 yards on the play. This time it's going to be Caleb Johnson on the carry for the Panthers. 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. And the Panthers can essentially take their time, Greg. They're not playing against the clock. They're just looking to score. As his pass is going to be muffled, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. As the snap was fumbled, and Trayvon Conley was trying to scoop it, and he was sacked in the backfield. And he's going to lose yards on that play. With that, we're going to have 3rd and long coming up. So Conley loses about 5 yards on that play. Ball's now played back at the 20-yard line. As the Panthers have to get to the 5-yard line for a first down. A handoff to Ahmad Antoine. He cuts to the left side. Gains of about 1 yard on the play. I checked that. That was actually Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson is wearing number 3. When you're up here, 3 and 5 kind of look similar. So 4th down coming up. And they're going to put this in the hands of the kicker to end this ball game. Ephraim Jason, as he's going to be attempting what appears to be about a 36-yard field goal attempt. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. And with that, the Panthers are victorious here in this ball game. 38th annual Labor Day Classic, 9 victories in a row. Panthers victorious in this one by the score of 37-34 here in overtime. We'll take a break and we'll come back with our post-game report right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
If you got a bid, let me search it. I gotta work, yeah. If you got a bid, let me work it. I gotta work it.
I will. Appreciate it. I tried. I'm low-key glad the game over. This is what happened. I'm trying to get paid. Ooh, I'm ready.
gotta pay, let me finish it. I gotta work, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Panthers have just finished off Texas Southern. Waiting on Andre Davis and Greg Johnson to come back for post game. What a game it was. And both of these teams look to have a bright future.
And welcome back to Panther Football right here at the Upper Mike Broadcast Network. Andre Davis alongside Mr. Greg Johnson. And I believe we've been accompanied by Mr. Mike Prince. Dr. Mike Prince, are you there, sir?
I believe I am, sir. How you guys doing, man?
I am doing wonderful. What a ball game, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, it was a nail-biter. Nail-biter. I picked the Panthers, but I knew this was going to be closer than anticipated. But, man, what a fantastic game. What a fantastic call by you guys. Do me a favor, my man. Give Mr. Johnson a great big bear hug for me. Outstanding job.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Mike Prince wanted me to let you know a very awesome job, Greg. Very awesome job. And to your point, Mike, yes, a very close ball game. A little too close for my blood pressure. A little too close for my blood pressure. But a close ball game. Panthers were able to pull this one out in overtime by the score of 37-34. Now 9 victories in a row here at the Labor Day Classic Showdown.
No doubt about it, and it just goes to show, Andre, it does not matter the record of these teams, doesn't matter what time of year they play. All the records can be thrown out the window. Aches and pains magically disappear, and these guys laid it all out there today. Unfortunately, someone has to lose this game. And fortunately for us in the purple and gold, we stand tall yet again. But I can guarantee you this, Texas Southern is going to be something to reckon with, and they will make a difference. Now, let's not hope that the Panthers get lackadaisical with this win and thinking that they're in cruise control. They still playing with a chip on their shoulder, picked 5th in the conference of the Western Division. And I knew the band was going to be kicking in real soon with that 5th quarter starting in. But you guys did a great job, man, and kept everybody on the edges of their seat from start to finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to your point, you know, we mentioned last season, I know it's a brand new season, but I know often last season we talked about the lackadaisical energy that typically the Panthers come out with in the second half during the course of a ball game. And as me and Greg mentioned throughout the course of this game, especially in the third quarter, it appears as if we were seeing a glimpse of that. We noticed that the Tigers came out with an extra burst of energy to start the second half, while the Panthers seemed to kind of be playing more so conservative, and the energy level wasn't quite there. But they picked things up late in the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter, and the result of it, they were victorious, 37-34.
Well, if I could use one word for the Panthers tonight, they were opportunists. They took advantage of some key turnovers. They did have a dead spot for a moment, but ultimately they were able to get some things wrapped up. Now, I know you guys got to get out of there. It's a hectic traffic jam. We are going to have this 1876 after party right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The Panthers will next be in action for the September 9th against Abilene Christian. I just wanted to get you guys do a job well done. You continue on, sir, and whenever the clock strikes midnight at your end, we'll be back in about 10 minutes to start this 1876 after party right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. You can go to the website, click the Listen Live link, or you can dial 857-777-0000. So I am now going to relinquish my mic and turn it back over to the play-by-play, Mr. Andre Davis.
Thank you, Dr. Mike Prince. And yes, as we mentioned before, job well done by the Panthers. Job well done by the Panthers. Victorious here in overtime by the score of 37-34. A nail-biter the entire ball game, if you will. Kind of a chess match between these two squads. Essentially, in the first half, the Tigers were able to sustain some momentum for majority of the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, it was all about the Panthers of Prairie View A&M University, and specifically that man at quarterback, Trayvon Conley. We're in the midst of our post-game show here from Shell Energy Stadium, and while we have a quick moment just to kind of go over some stats here for you, as it was a lot of action in this ball game. First downs, the Panthers were able to win the first down battle in this ball game. 27 first downs to just 20 first downs for the Tigers. 455 total yards offensively for the Panthers. 486 total yards for the Tigers. 275 passing for the Panthers. 286 passing for the Tigers. 180 yards rushing for the Panthers on the ground. 200 yards rushing for the Tigers. The Panthers were able to win the time of possession battle. 35 minutes and 51 seconds. The Panthers held the ball in this ball game to just 24 minutes and 9 seconds for the Tigers of Texas Southern. Trayvon Conley went 20 for 33 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ahmad Antoine had 18 carries for 89 yards. 4.9 yards per carry. And I'm going to fire this microphone back up as we've been joined by a special guest, Mr. Check that. Yes. Well, we're gonna get him mic'd up here in just a second. the SID of Texas Southern, Mr. Ryan McGinty, as we're going to get him mic'd up. As he was listening to the broadcast for the majority of the game, ladies and gentlemen, he was standing about 3 to 4 feet away from me the entire ball game, so he heard me roaring to the top of my lungs, and we're going to get him mic'd up here, the SID of Texas Southern University, Mr. Ryan McGinty. How you doing today, sir?
No comment. I hope it's not I hope the FCC is here. And it's one of them nights.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Well, one of the things that we mentioned, and I mentioned this, and one of the things we mentioned, this at the start of our postgame show. Even though the Panthers were victorious by the score of 37-34, a lot of fireworks in this ball game, Ryan, from both squads.
Oh yeah, it was probably, my wife just says one of the best Labor Day classics she's seen it. The last time it came down to the final drive was the 2016 one at Prairie View, when Prairie View got the 3 straight sacks against TSU. So it was a game. Remember, I didn't realize it would be 7 years later. It's probably the most memorable one, the first OT we've ever had in Labor Day Classic history.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, it's just, I can't really, I'm speechless. I just felt like Alabama and A&M, when TSU played A&M, when we found out Prairie View lost last year, we felt the same way for 59 minutes and whatever seconds. And you saw it snatched away just like that.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Now, I want to go back on that last drive for Texas Southern when they got the ball first in overtime. Typically, when we've seen Texas Southern have some momentum here in this ball game, especially offensively, they were pretty successful, but they weren't able to get things done offensively. So what did you see on that drive in overtime when the Tigers got the ball first?
Drop passes. I saw definitely two drop passes, and we just weren't in sync. You could tell the momentum, that swagger we had in that third quarter, we didn't have it. And then when we dropped the one on first down, and I think we had to drop our third down and that break up on second, you could just tell. And that was our 2 top receivers that dropped it. You could just feel the energy go away because the kicker was, you could tell he didn't look like he was a lefty kicker, if you noticed. He didn't look comfortable when he was lining up for it, you know, and unfortunately. But, I mean, just the way the ball bounced. You got to congratulate him. Great game. I worked hard this week, late night. Mike can attest to that. I just want to commend y'all for being here to the end because you was quiet for a minute.
Right.
You was turning red. I was ready to come in there and steal the mic, but that's why you wait till the clock hits 0.00.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And we talked about the quarterback, Andrew Body, before this game started. Had some costly interceptions late in that second half, but overall, young man seemed very confident in that backfield. So what's some of the things that you're looking to see for him? Obviously, things didn't go his way here in this ball game, but what are some of the things that you're looking for him moving forward as the season progresses?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to try to let this one game carry over the rest of the year. Well, next week we're out of conference, play Toledo. Then you go play Rice the next week. Then you got Grambling coming up. But, you know, unfortunately, this is going to be the one that's going to be on your timeline. But next 3 weeks, they're going to remind you. But you can't let one game cause you to lose 10 more. So I just think he has to put it behind him. I mean, he's a great kid, resilient. I mean, you know, unfortunately, what happened last year and this year's last 2 games are something he probably doesn't want to go back and look at, but it's growing pains with his junior quarterback. So I just hope he bounces back from it. He has a great support system in his family. So I hope they're there with him to guide him along the way because we're going to need, number one, if we're going to go. As you saw what he was earlier.
Yes, sir.
And some things, you know, it wasn't his fault. And, you know, you don't put nothing on the blame. Everybody had a hand in what went down tonight. But I just hate it. You know, everyone's going to blame the head guy, unfortunately. But I think he'll bounce back. And, you know, I just look forward and I'm praying for his family that we can get through this game and move on to the next one.
And one thing we know about the Southwestern Athletic Conference, you got to play the team that's in front of you. Even though you may lose a game, that still doesn't mean that you're out of it.
No. Last year proved that, you know, we was out of it, then we was back into it, and you see what happened. So, you know, you don't want to go down 0-1 in conference, but that's the way it is. They got to be a winner. They got to be a loser.
Yep.
And so I'm just glad people that the 17,000 or 18,000 that bought tickets tonight, they saw a great game, and hopefully it carries over into next week when both teams return to the field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's one thing we know about these games, Ron. Anything can happen. Alabama State beat Southern tonight.
Right. Well, I don't want to go too far in a swag deal, but people don't say, hey, you know, the last coach at Southern was at Prairie View.
Right.
Except the transfer portal now is the equalizer on a lot of things. Stuff that Dooley was known for getting high-power quarterbacks, right?
Right.
Before the portal. Now the portal, everybody got access to them. So you just don't know, man. You know, maybe who knows what's going to happen. So you just got to line up, and when the clock hits 0-0, you just got to say you played your best, and both teams left out on the field tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said to my partner Greg, even though they weren't able to get the job done here tonight, I saw some things from Texas Southern tonight that they're gonna make some noise in the SWAC for this entire 2023 campaign. They came out in that second half, man, and they was just laying the boom on the Panthers in that second half.
Andre, Alabama A&M 2022 all over again. You had that great third quarter. You were feeling, you saw the swag out in the field. Number 5, Quay Davis, he looked like a 4 or 5-star guy when he signed at Jackson State, you know? But like you said, you can't, a team like Prairie View, been in championship 2 years ago, was few plays away from last year. They're not going to go away easy. You got to learn how to close games, and, you know, it's just a growing pain for this team. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, either way, Panthers were victorious by a score of 37-34 here in overtime from Shell Energy Stadium. Right now, 9th victory. Yes, sir, go ahead.
And last thing, I just want to commend y'all for what y'all have done. You know, with y'all staying the course despite the obstacles y'all face. I'm glad y'all enjoyed your Frenchie chicken tonight. Not a sponsor plug. But I just once again agree, you know, I'm glad y'all were here. But I want to ask this, I want Mike. Where's Greg? I mean, I shouldn't be here, right? Where'd he go?
Hey,
man, Mike, pull this plug, Mike.
All right.
No, but Greg, he was nervous the whole game, Mike. He just came alive with 1 minute left, so, you know, have that talk with him, you know.
Yeah. Well,
great guy.
Yeah. Well, and he's young, starting off good, you know, trying. You know, he's getting his feet under him.
I know.
He did it. No, I think he did an exceptionally well job. You know, getting his feet under him. You know.
Oh, I know.
These things, that's how the more you do it, the better you get.
He was sweating for 58 minutes.
Hey, Andre.
Shaking. He was nervous.
Andre.
No, I didn't even know he talked to him for 58 minutes.
No, he was sweating because
Andre.
of how crazy his ball game was.
Get out of here.
I told Mike, I said, this game was too close for my blood pressure.
Greg was cute, man. He was like a statue, but I commend him on the great work he done, Andre. Good job. Mike, I'll talk to you down the road, way down the road. Don't call my phone ever again. I'll talk to you later. Once again, thank y'all. I'll see y'all next week.
All right. Yes, I did. Texas Southern University, Mr. Ryan McGinty, joining us for post-game show. Well, there isn't more left to say here. The Panthers were able to get things done in overtime here from Shell Energy Stadium in the 38th Annual Labor Day Classic, winning this one by the score of 37-34. And as we mentioned before, you can join us for our next broadcast coverage live next Saturday at 6 p.m. as the Panthers will return home for their first home game of the 2023 campaign, as they're going to be taking on Abilene Christian University. And kickoff for that game, again, is going to be scheduled for 6 p.m. So we'll be coming at you live with our pregame show at 5:30 p.m. And again, it's only on the Upper Mike Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Panthers victorious in this one by the score of 37-34. I am going to sign off. We want to thank you all so much for joining us for today's broadcast. We want to thank our sponsors for making today's broadcast possible. Panthers victorious in this one. I am Andre Davis for Mr. Greg Johnson and Dr. Mike Prince. I am signing off saying so long, and we will see you next time.